Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. Hope everyone is having a very pogalicious day today. Happy Thursday. We are almost at Friday, guys. Don't worry, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, y'all. But happy Thursday. Today we are playing a game. Moving my mic is probably not the best idea because I'm not the one who set this up, so if it falls, I don't know how to fix it. No, we're not playing The Sims. We are playing a game called Under the Thorns, which is a visual novel that I found for free on the Epic Games Store. Because I was like looking for a bunch of games, because Thursday is when we normally try like indie games and we try Undertale. No. We're playing Under the Thorns, which is a visual novel. It kind of looks like it's based in like 1800s, 1900s England. I didn't really read a synopsis about what this game is. I just know that there's a visual novel that is voiced, so you guys don't have to listen to me try to figure out what, read it myself. So that's cool. So I don't necessarily know anything about this game. We're just jumping into it. I should probably do research on games before this, but where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that? But hi Cap, welcome to Straight Up Your Pocket today. Let's go ahead and start it here. I have the music about halfway. So I can't really tell how loud it is. It's not that loud. Okay. This is the title screen. I'm assuming that we're playing as this lady, and then we have this dude and some necklace. That's all we know. So let's just go ahead and get started here. Chapter 1. It's good. Smash? Okay. Oh dear God. It's so loud. Okay, let's turn everything to half. The loud noise woke me from my sleep, and I reluctantly opened my eyes while still seated in the rattling carriage. Daylight had emerged while I was sleeping, casting a feeble glimmer into the dim and shabby confines of the carriage. How far are we now? With a smooth move, I pulled myself up from where I was sitting, trying to fix my messy hair. As the world outside buzzed with noise, the coachman spoke to me through a small opening. Okay, I thought these motherfuckers were supposed to have a voice. I've been lied to. I do have to read this. You've woken up on time. We're close now. Steady yourself and get ready to jump off. Jump off? I thought this was my Uber. What do you mean jump off? Are you certain we're in proximity? You've got nothing. You've not got much faith in folks, have you? Reasonably, my reservations were justified. He has been repeating like a wearied mantra that our arrival was imminent, yet with no success. Perhaps stung by my inquisitive stare, the coachman gestured towards the crest of the hill. You see that, lass? I followed the line of his finger, and a stately manor loomed atop the elevation. Though it was too far away to discern its precise features, its sheer grandeur was unmistakable. I leaned closer to the window, striving to observe the view, and then turned my gaze back to the coachman. What can't you share about the manor? I'm just passing through, lass. I ain't got much to offer in the way of knowing stuff. Perplexed by his lack of certainty for someone of his occupation, I nodded in response. That's what I'm saying. Like, well, what do you mean? You come up here all the time and you can't tell me what this place looks like? Okay. The carriage in which I had been dispatched was hardly in impeccable condition. Whether it was the pall of tobacco smoke or the jolts from the uneven terrain, my stomach had turned during the journey, and my posterior ached. Oh, is that my butt? Okay, what? Is this like British English? Because ain't no one saying this is their butt. In all candor, the rim... What? Whatever had offered was alluring, albeit with doubts about its authenticity. However, given the prestige of the family name, I steeled myself and persevered. I'm not entirely sure if this is a wise course of action. I watched with trepidation as the manor grew nearer. Guys, I know a lot of big words. My countenance bore a trace of consternation as the formerly impeccable features of the estate slowly escalated into view. A fleeting moment of regret brushed against my consciousness as I pondered whether I should have remained in the townhouse, notwithstanding the diminished pay. Bruh, I am reading right now. Irrespective of the manor's facade, the main entrance was the epitome of pristine maintenance, as it stood as a constant symbol of the family's England. Stop making up words. Obscene reverence. Yeah, for it, regardless of the anticipation of guests. Hello, days. We're gonna turn up a party. In stark contrast, this manor appeared indifferent to no such niceties. The towering fence shrouded in unsightly ivy, and the corroding, peeling iron gates bestook a manner unconcerned with aesthetics. The sky, it's... Can they stop with this one word? I don't know how to say it. Count... whatever, morphing in response... execute not merely an eerie ambience, but an unmistakable uncanniness. And involuntarily involuntarily a gasp escaped me. Could there be a more perfect setting for a mystery novel? The coachman, who had been monitoring me for any signs of enjoyment, erupted in laughter. "Fret not, young lass. This is the precious place I've ever stepped foot in." He turned southern. I had my doubts considering the ups and downs I've already faced, but what choice did I have? I straightened my shoulders and prepared for the unsettling creak of the iron gate swinging open. The carriage moved through the open gates, passing through the gardens, and eventually stepping in front of the main entrance. "Hello, Shaw. Welcome to the straight up apartment yet. Bubba, how are you today?" "I'm doing great. I think Suna needs reading class." "Leave me alone." As I got off carrying my belongings, the sheer size of the garden momentarily captivated me. The coachman's assurance proved correct. The garden was indeed well kept, although it seemed strangely out of context. While I looked around, a voice called out to me. "Miss Clara Hart." A footman. Oh no, he's gonna touch my feet. He approached with a friendly smile on his face as he extended his hand. I was ready to reciprocate with a handshake when I noticed his gaze shifting towards my luggage. I quickly shook my head. "No need for you to carry the burden." "Please do not trouble yourself. It is my duty." "I assure you it's just one bag." After witnessing my hesitation, he initiated polite conversation, attempting to break the ice. "Is this your first foray into servicing a manor, Miss Hart?" What the fuck is that? "Indeed, only last week I was in service as Lady Jane's maid in her townhouse." What are these words? Who says this? Fortunately, I had been a lady's maid for some time. Yeah, I did. And he abstrusely broached the topic with tact. You know what? I'm in the business of making up words, y'all. I've heard she's quite exacting. What the fuck does that mean? Is that so? Well, she maintains her own standards, but she is a fair employer. She did establish a multitude of rules, and I often found myself inadvertently breaking them, earning her displeasure. Nevertheless, recognizing my departure was tinged with concern. She kindly provided me with a letter of introduction to the manor, which was a consultation. Yep. The footman responded with a reassuring smile to my answer. Our manners share certain similarities. I trust you will find yourself acclimated, Miss Hart. I certainly hope so, or I'm suing every fucking one of you. The conversation infused my voice with a natural cheerfulness as the tension from our earlier discussion faded. Life within the manor appeared less formidable with a colleague of his caliber. Okay, it's nice in here. I assume that's what I'm here for. Though she did mention this is the perfect setting for a mystery novel, so maybe like she works as a maid, but she's also a writer too. Maybe. After guiding me to the center hall of the manor, he assumed responsibility for my luggage and departed with brisk, confident strides. I shall attend to your luggage. I felt a sudden pang of deception. Who the hell is this? Just as the words began to form in my mind, an individual approached, striding purposely towards me. Dressed in a dignified black coat, she extruded an air of authority, her impeccable posture and immaculate codified hair leaving not a single strand astray. So this is the person I am to meet. I cast an appraising glance her way. Though I speculated she might be the mistress of the manor, her attire indicated otherwise. When our eyes meet, she graced me with a composed smile and extended a greeting. Y'all are supposed to have voices. It says voice volume. Speak? Hello? Why are you not speaking? I've eagerly awaited your arrival. Have you found the journey to be taxing, miss? No. Oh, not at all. Thanks to your prearranged carriage. Why ain't they talking? Maybe she's a fan of Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is fire, no cap. I don't kiss him. I don't know. I'm delighted to hear that. I am Olivia Quayler, the housekeeper, and I would be most appreciative if you dress me as Miss Quayler. Okay. Certainly, Miss Quayler. You're a fan of Taylor Swift? Quayler, Taylor. You know, anyway. And so our greeting came to a close. Miss Quayler promptly retrieved a pocket watch, checked the time, and proceeded to explain the schedule in a methodical, clerical fashion. As a rule, I would introduce you to Lord Robert. Robert? That's the name of the baddie. Is Robert. Also, where's the music? Yeah, give me the music. But, given his recent indisposition, it's evident you won't be graced with his presence. In lieu of that, I've determined that I shall promptly accompany you to our tour of this manor. Is that agreeable to you? Who speaks like this? The implication leaned more towards an announcement than a question. Yes. Yes! Yeah, it was information I should have been privy to in advance, so I had no objections. Given the circumstances, I think the lone alternative. In response, Miss Quayler graced me with a smile of a different sort. A rather anatemic one. Yep. Ever seen his worst nightmare? Why are they speaking like this is my question. Like, this is why, like, the old English kings and queens, like, that's why they ain't here no more, bro. Like, no one speaks like this. Perfect. Incomprehensible words slipped from her lips. Miss Quayler took no notice of my attempt to inquire as she began to lead the way. I followed her, feeling as if I were being abruptly steered. My eyes retracted to the entrance I had entered, only to see the door slowly closing behind us. Oh, am I gonna die here? In the corridor to the right of the manor house, we strolled through an area that evoked a cloister. Okay, now it's loud as fuck. However, the manor's prevalence, eerie atmosphere made it challenging to fully appreciate these depictions. Oh, duh. It's somewhat disquieting to think that they appear so lifelike and might be observing me. I mulled over this while stealing a glance at Miss Coiler, who forged ahead. Her back was turned to me, and she continued to provide explanations whether I followed or not. While she delved into the history of the manor and the biographies of its ancestors, my understanding was limited to a general grasp of the layout. She refrained from inquiring whether I had absorbed the information, as if she had little expectation. Nevertheless, I paid close attention. She inculcated the task that I would undertake within the manor. One might assume cleaning is simple. Miss Quayler regarded it with greater significance. In particular, she emphasized the importance of monitoring the entry to the private rooms and whether the door was left open or closed. Ooh, he got a woman trapped in his house? The language is fitting. I think so. I think that's the vibe. In this manor house, we leave the door to an unoccupied room open. If it's closed, it implicates the presence of guests or occupants of the house. Should you need to enter a closed room, knock and await a response before entering. What if there's no response? Do not enter. Request your supervisor to handle it. I shall remember that. I found myself slightly confounded, though I guessed the protocol of the manor. Miss Quayler, content with my composed demeanor, ascended the staircase without uttering another word, her gaze fixed upon the corridor's expanse. The next noteworthy point leads us to the bedchambers. She halted abruptly. I recoiled a few steps, narrowly avoiding a collision with Miss Quayler's back. Miss Quayler, typically serene, and now appeared shaken. Miss Quayler? I turned my gaze toward her, pondering the nature of the disturbance. At the corridor's terminus? It sounds like a spell from Harry Potter. Devoid of life amid encroaching darkness. An inanimate figure cast a long, human-like shadow. A mysterious presence. Mindred, swaying as if in a spectral dance. It seemed oblivious to our existence. Previous mates locked up, so we're so that there's something off about this place already. I felt a quiver of fear at the sight of this unfathomable phenomenon. Miss Quayler! I cried out, sensing the imperative need to retreat. Simultaneously, Miss Quayler seized my wrist, guiding us swiftly downstairs. The evasion led us to the courtyard. I curled up, shivering from the biting chill of the wind, whereas Miss Quayler stood rigid, seemingly unaffected by the cold. Her eyes remained fixated on me in silence. A wordless pressure lingered, making my mouth go dry. We ain't gotta talk about the ghost that we just saw? Oh, it has a name? People really be naming anything, huh? After a while, Miss Quayler broke the silence. Lady Jane, reference later, attests to your meticulous nature and taciturn disposition. To be candid, in my previous employment, I was somewhat of a troublemaker. Not precisely a gossip, but curiosity often got the better of me. I caused Lady Jane headaches with various incidents, but never by divulging secrets. I nodded awkwardly, and Miss Quayler's mouth corners twitched. She draped a gentle arm around my shoulders, hurting my gaze. Miss Hart, if you encounter such a sight, flee. It is imperative rule that you must appear to. You mean you must? Without exception. She whispered impatiently, redirecting her focus to the manor house. Believe it or not, the manor is designed by the same particular phenomena as before. I rolled my eyes, struggling for words. What was the appropriate response in this perplexing situation? So no one something like this. Have fun with that. I would get out of the manor soon. Apparently, she needs the money. Which, okay, girl, that's fine, but I ain't dealing with no ghost. there's just some things you don't mess with, even if you need money. One of them is ghosts. Oh, speaking of like ghosts, but like more so like monsters, let me turn down the music just a slight bit. I am watching the summer that Hikaru died. Oh my god, this show is insane. So, if you weren't here yesterday when I was talking about it, there are these two friends, Yoshiki and Hikaru died, but his body got taken over by a demon. So we're gonna still the summer that Hikaru died. Hikaru died in the mountains, but a demon took over his body, or spirit, or whatever you want to call it. And Yoshiki, the other guy, never said anything until like 6 months later. He was like, "You're not really Hikaru, are you?" And he was like, "How did you find out?" And so then like all of the like demon guts spilled from his body, and he was gonna kill him, but he was like, "I can't kill you. I can't. I love you too much. I can't do that to you." And so he was like, "Alright, so yesterday, I'm on episode 4 now. I'm like, there's only 6 episodes. There's about to be 7 tomorrow. But anyway, I'm like catching up with it, right? So, and yesterday, one of the episodes, they were helping their friend go through the mountains because their village mountains is cursed with like demons and spirits and things like that. So their friend was like, "I'm really scared. You guys need to come with me." They're like, "Okay, let's go." So they got their friend across, and then they were walking back, and then Yoshiki made the wrong choice and decided to look into the forest because he saw something moving. And the way that they make the monsters in this anime is so disturbing. So it just looked like a tree swaying in the wind, but as it got closer and closer, it was like they kind of made it like a 3D, but like 2D type. It was really cool how they did it. But it was like this lady with a super long neck, and her head was like dangling from it, and you could hear it swaying back and forth like her bones cracking, and she was like running towards him. And then he was like, "You shouldn't have looked at her, but don't worry, I'll handle it." And then like there was a loud like popping sound, and then Hikaru like fell down because he had a nosebleed. So Yoshiki's like, "What happened? What happened?" He goes, "Oh, I ate her." Huh? What do you mean you ate it? So then the next day at school, because everyone's in high school, this takes place in high school. So the next day, he pulls them aside during PE class, and they go into like one of those the gym storage houses or whatever. And Yoshiki was like, "What are we doing here?" He's like, "You wanted to know how I ate that demon, right? That spirit?" And he was like, "Yeah, I guess so." So he takes his shirt off, and then like the demon opens, like splits his stomach open, and there's like this black hole. And he takes Yoshiki's hand, and he's like, "Here, go ahead, feel inside of me." And he was like, "Huh?" So he sticks his hand in there, and it's like an endless black hole, so he could like, because that's how he swallows things, right? Because even though he has the person Hikaru's body, there's no organs, he's not alive, he's just like, his insides are just filled with like the demon's thing. So he sticks his hand in it, and Hikaru's like, "Oh, what is this? What does it feel like?" And he's like, "It feels like marinated raw chicken. Like, this is pretty gross, I'm not gonna lie." So he takes he tries to take his hand out, but then Hikaru's like, no, keep going. And he like pulls his hand more into him, and then he's like, "Go up, like you can move your hand." And he starts moving his hand up, and his face starts splitting in half because of like the split that he created. And I was like, "What?" And Yoshiki was like, "Alright, I'm done. That was great. Thank you for showing me that." So then that happened. And then, later in the episode, he meets like this lady, and she's like, "You're getting mixed up with a demon. Like, you shouldn't do that. Here, text me if you want help or whatever." And he finally like, "I need to get rid of this demon." So he texts the lady, but Hikaru finds out that he's like texting the lady. So then the next day at school, he sees Yoshiki, and he's like, "Come on, let's go home together." And he's like, "No, you can go home by yourself." And he's like, "Well, like, are you mad at me? Like, what's wrong?" And then he's like, "You're not Hikaru. Like, you're not him. You're a fake. You're a fraud." So then he starts like freaking out. And so then like all of the demon guts like spill out of him. And he's like, trying to consume Yoshiki, but then he can't do it because he loves Yoshiki so much. So he starts crying. He goes, "I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm doing," and he leaves. And then instead of like getting rid of the demon like he's supposed to, because I get like it's his best friend, he loves his best friend romantically and like all that stuff. You should get rid of the demon, but he's like, no. And he goes to him the next day after school because he didn't show, because Hikaru didn't show up, and he was like, "Hikaru, I'm here, where are you?" And he's like under a blanket, and he's like, "You hate me." And he's like, "No, I don't hate you." And then he reaches out to touch Hikaru, but then Hikaru like sticks his hand out, and then he flinches. He goes, "See, you do hate me, you flinched." And he's like, "No, it's not like that." And he goes, "You shouldn't be the one apologizing. I'm the one that did something wrong." And he was like, Yoshiki was like, "No, it's okay. I'm not mad at you. We can keep being friends." Yeah, we think or something. Technically, it's not, but it is at the same time. Like, it's not labeled as a BL because they don't like kiss or anything like that, but basically it is because they both admit that they have feelings for each other. And like Hikaru's whole thing is that like, even though he is the demon, he can't kill Yoshiki because the original Hikaru loved him so much that the current demon in his body can't even kill him, because like he took all of Hikaru's like memories and stuff so he can like perfectly replicate him. And even with just those memories, he can't kill Yoshiki. He can't will himself to do it. He's just hopelessly in love with this guy. And so is Yoshiki. So technically it is, but at the same time it's not. Yes. Yeah. The anime kind of like watered it down, but if you read the manga, they're more like, "Oh, I'm super crazy about you," or "I really like you," and that type of thing. They do say it in the show, but they just like, "Oh, I really like you," or "You're really important to me." You know how like they censorship stuff like that. But like it's crazy. It is so good, bro. I gotta start reading the manga. Anyway, I just want to talk about that because like there's like monsters in this, and like the way that they portray Hikaru's like thing. I would have watched it if it was Yuri. Hey, everyone has their preferences, but you know, it's also like a really good like psychological horror thing. The way that they like portray their emotions. I would say even if you're not into yaoi and you're not like really into that, you should just see how they animate it. Like, it is so cool. Like, I've never really seen an animation style that has so many different mediums in it like this that really work together. Like, it's really cool. So even if you don't like the yaoi aspect of it, which is not really BL, they're just really close friends, guys. It's really good. The storyline is so freaking interesting. It's really cool. Anyway, let's get back to me suffering on how to read. What was the appropriate response in this perplexing situation? Luck was on my side if I refrained from saying, "Well, it's possible considering one of the shadows is at my feet." Regardless, Miss Quayther seemed eagerly perplexed, convincing it all to be a bringer of misfortune. I pondered, attempting to formulate a response. "I inquire because you mentioned it's a rule. Is it akin to the guidance against closing doors?" "It bears similarity." Miss Quayther mentioned that she would deliver an employee handbook to my room. In a soothing tone, she assured me of her understanding of my confusion. You needn't worry. It is a collection of rules that shall resolve themselves." Rules. If it proves challenging, inform me. I intend to maintain a well-stuffed house, allowing for you to return home. No, entrust me with the responsibility. I shall endeavor. Now bared with the responsibility of providing sustenance for my family, I had no intention of retreating to my former employment. Appeased by my response, Miss Quayther bestowed upon me another satisfied smile. Surprisingly, the mausoleum was quite close to the manor house. By turning your head, it offered a view of the manor's right wall. A bold decision for a residence steeped in history and grandeur. The ancestor of the lord of this manor, devoted to his departed wife, orchestrated the change to gaze upon her grave at will. In society where the arranged marriages prevailed, the fervent love struck me as eccentric. Although I was assigned to attend to the mausoleum, I wasn't gifted any explicit instructions. Alice was made responsible to oversee my training and teach me the details of the daily task. Whatever Miss Clare chanted to me about, the owner of the mausoleum seemed to go in one ear and out the other. Just as I was growing accustomed to the surroundings, I sensed an unforeseen wave of attention fixing upon me. Puzzled, I raised my head to witness a colossal figure materializing behind the glass. The recollection of dancing shadows tensed my shoulders. "Oh, Miss Quayler, over there." Miss Quayler fell silent, followed my gaze. Then she tried to assuage my fear with a smirk. "Fear not, he is not one of them." "Sorry, him?" "He is Lord Edward, the heir to this prestigious manor." With precision, she outlined the figure against the cloudy sky. His hair, a shade of golden ash blonde, matched his clear blue sky of his eyes, and the static and calm demeanor defined him. Our gaze met, his fingers fiddling with the delicate chain of his necklace as he observed our surroundings. I would work in a kitchen or something, anything to avoid dealing with ghosts. Dude, I'll go clean out the porta potties at this point, or whatever they were called back in the day. Outhouses? I'll do that, for sure. A look of surprise crossed his face. He attempted to communicate something to me through subtle mouth movements. I found myself captivated, studying his lips with genuine intrigue. Focus. My gaze might have lingered had not another voice snapped me back. "Pardon me." I hastily clasped my hands, assuming a polite gesture, feeling my face uncontrollably warm. Absorbed in observing the Lord, I momentarily overlooked Miss Quayler's presence. Her eyes narrowed for that very reason. "Could you tell me more about Lord Edward?" Oh my gosh, Edward from Twilight. No way. The question, intended as an invitation, earned only a raised eyebrow from her. A momentary gaze at the window preceded a dismissive response. "He is a unruly man, a difficult one to deal with. I recommend you avoid talking to him as much as possible." Oh. Alright. Stiff responses left me feeling out of place, a contrast to her earlier praise of the manor. Even if he was indeed unruly, it wasn't a particularly kind characterization of him. Skylar added a cautionary note, apparently unsatisfied with my response. Should he visit the mausoleum, give him space. He's very sensitive. Our conversation ended there, but Skylar spoke only when explanations were necessary, and I, stunned by her continuous deflections, remained silent. Hence the sloppy introduction into the manor reached its end. Alright, chapter 2! Colin, I choose Jacob if I was Bella. Dude, my mom was rewatching the Twilight movies, and I was in there a little bit every so often, and I would be watching it with her a little bit, like stealing glances. Bro, what the freak is going on in Twilight? It was crazy. I was scared. Attending to a lady's every need and overseeing a manor house were indeed desperate tasks. Alice, aiding my transition, bore a stern demeanor, leading us up and down the stairs innumerable times. By its conclusion, my limbs trembled like a fleeting fowl. I am utterly cream-crackered? What? What? What does that even mean? Girl, don't ever say that again. What? Ooh. Orange. Waveringly propelling myself. Nearly at the brink of collapse, I entered the servants' hall. At the sunset, a bustling crowd had gathered. I sank into the nearest chair, exhaling a heavy sigh. Oh, my limbs are aching. I hope I can rise again tomorrow. While I was massaging my weary legs and pondering, a man quietly occupied the seat across from me. He scrutinized me with a pensive stare, deeming me a stranger. I'm not sure if I recognize you. I'm new to this place, as you can see. Stupid. Oh, no wonder you're new to me. I'm Thomas. Clara. When I ignored his hand, he discreetly wiped his damp palms on his apron, a smirk settling upon his features. Then he continued speaking, adopting an air of sagacy. Right you are. You clearly had a day of it. Not tuckered out, are you? When you come back to my place, I'll freak you up. Absolutely. I could barely lift a finger. Oh, that explains the lack of a handshake. Well, fret not, my dear, for this culinary wizard is about to whip up something scrumptious to revive you. A short while later, Thomas reappeared, a plate in his hands, his face softened by the desire to comfort, held a warmth that contrasts with the coldness in my stomach. The aroma of the food that Thomas had painstakingly prepared filled the air, but it failed to enhance my senses. I took a small taste, more out of obligation than desire, and Thomas' face instantly became a mask of worry. Is it really that dreadful? Well, you do seem to you do seem to be a bit unsure of yourself for a chef, won't you say? Perhaps it's because I find myself playing the cook for the day. He let out a big sigh, as if the weight of the word was on his shoulders. Right, well, the thing is, Mary up and left suddenly, which threw us in a bit of a titsy, you see. And I've been doing my best to pick up the slack, so to speak. Who's Mary? Ah, well, she's the one who looked after the mausoleum before you, as it were. Utterly surprised by Thomas's knowledge of things I had not shared, I asked, and how exactly did you deduce that? I be the new mausoleum keeper. Well, whispers about you have been swirling around the manor for days, like leaves in the storm. It would be quite the feat to remain completely oblivious, you see. Whispers about what? Why is everyone in this place weird? I don't know, bro. Oh, mostly your dinner, of course. We've been placed a friendly wager amongst ourselves on how long you'll last before throwing in the towel. My eyebrows shot up in astonishment at his audacity. How could he possibly make a bet without even knowing who the other person was? Catching my disbelieving stare, he let out a disgruntled sigh. Hey, don't give me that look. I was on your side. I bet you would have persisted for a week. The mask of pleasantness on his face finally cracked, revealing a glimpse of the man underneath. As my disapproval became apparent, Thomas scrambled out some excuse about needing to urgently attend to his duties, scurried away, seeking refuge in the kitchen. Broke left. Ceases voice volume. But they don't speak. With a heavy sigh that echoed throughout the room, I laid down my fork and knife. The meal, unfortunately, had been a disappointing affair. I suppose I should return to my chamber. I don't know why they sound like that. Ooh, okay, got a cute little nook in the attic. Upon entering my assigned room, I was greeted by an unexpected spectacle. To my astonishment, it was an entirely private chamber. In adobes. With limited space, shared lodging were the norm, so I'd expected something similar here. Am I their lost daughter or something? I hastily dismissed my unwarranted captivation, delivering a stinging slap to my own cheeks as a reprimand. Even the hydrated the love, I appreciate it. Hey, you guys get your audiobook by me. You're welcome. Is that a straw hat? Dude, One Piece is real. You guys get your audiobook like you wanted. And then you for the posture check and destroy it. This was not the time for floated. What? I don't know. Skip that word. I don't know it. Give Doggo a pat. Doggo is asleep, but I will later. And Doggo's also asleep, so I can't give her a treat right now. Especially with a bet riding on my resilience. I need to prioritize the organization of my attire and possessions, followed by a thorough examination of the established guidelines. It should be on the drawer. My gaze swept across the room, landing upon a delicate stack of papers precariously perched upon the dresser. I snatched it up and delved into the instructions. Let me say. Employee Handbook. 0. Manor layout. The estate consists of 3 distinct areas: the main manor house, a separate annex building, annexa, and a garden. The manor house spans 3 floors above ground and 1 basement level. The left wing is dedicated to employee quarters, while the right wing houses the private residential areas. The basement serves as a storage and culinary space, with certain areas accessible only to authorized servants. The annex building comprises 2 above-ground stories and a basement level. This building is solely intended for guest accommodation. The garden is divided into 3 sections: a carriageway, an outer yard, and a backyard courtyard. 4. Unbreakable policy, a code to abide by. 0. Manor manifestations. Strange and unexplained events can occur within the manor. A. Failure to comply with the following policy will absolve us of responsibility for any resulting incidents. Anaxa in the garden. Anaxa is being Pookie baby girl princess sugar plum out there. He's like laying with the roses and he's like doing his little reading and he looks so adorable. I love Anaxa. He's so beautiful. If I had to pick like who the prettiest character is, that's such a hard thing, but Anaxa would definitely be in top 5. Anaxa would have you seen him? He's beautiful. Top 5 for sure. Nervy Led's in top 5 too, no cap. That man is stunning. 1. Confidentiality mandate. All occurrences within the manor must be kept secret from the outside world. A. This is a contractual obligation, and any breach will result in disciplinary action in accordance with the policy. 2. Restricted passageway. Do not enter corridors where shadowy figures are known to manifest. A. During daylight hours, the corridors often become inhabited by humanoid shadows. While no physical contact has been reported, we suspect potential danger and entry is strictly prohibited. B. If your duties require you to be in those areas, inform your supervisor and seek alternative assignments. 3. Vacant chamber protocol. Leave vacant chambers ajar, not sealed. A. Out of respect for our guests, entry shall only occur after a polite knock and an audible confirmation. B. If an unanswered knock is received, seek a supervisor to address the issue. 4. Sunrise prescription. No movement allowed after sunset. Sunset. A. For safety reasons, the manor operates during daylight hours only, prohibiting authorized personnel from moving after sunset. B. Occasional noises may occur after hours. Be advised, ignoring them as they typically subside on their own. C. Sound near your door often originates from night watchmen. Please do not be alarmed. 5. Mealtime protocol. The Lord's family meals follow a predetermined schedule. A. Setting the table and presenting food will always increase the number of occupants by 1. Serving guests will also increase the head count by 1 person. B. If someone joins mid-meal, non-compliance is permitted. 6. Discourse directive. Avoid lengthy conversation with Lord Edward. A. Interaction is permitted when necessary, but refrain from initiating conversation unless advised. B. If someone brings business to Lord Edward, promptly direct them to Olivia Coiler. 7. Outbuilding ordinance. Unauthorized access to the outbuildings is strictly prohibited except for the stables and mausoleum. A. Currently, outbuildings are restricted to designated personnel and the family of the manor's probits or whatever. Next time to catch that goes in a bottle and they make a bulb out of it in a day. Dude, Anaxa would do anything in the name of science. Like, I've seen people post screenshots from the new event. And, like, in the new event, all the Chrysos heirs run a restaurant. And so, apparently Anaxa's in charge. And Treeby asked, what should we do about this one guy who... either they gave a bad review or they didn't want to wait in line or something. So Anaxa's response, let me go get my bullets for my gun. Huh? Anaxa? What are you doing, bud? And then it was like, there's so many people, how do we know who to let in first? And he was like, well, if they like Dromas, then they can come in, but if they disrespect Dromas, they have to leave. Because Anaxa loves those dinosaurs. Anaxa, like, doesn't take anyone's bullshit, man. Because he knows that he's the smartest dude in the world, basically. So it's just like, I don't get... Imagine if Anaxa and Dr. Ratio met, because Dr. Ratio thinks that he's the smartest because he has all like these PhDs and like all this other stuff. If those two met, oh god, the world is over. Though if those two met, they would never stop arguing with each other. They would constantly have a rivalry going. You know what? Maybe that's what Ratio needs. Maybe he needs that. And you know, Anaxa could prove to, you know, other people that he is smarter. That'd be crazy. If the accompaniment to an outbuilding is required, obtain permission from your supervisors beforehand. My mind reeled from the intricate details of the instructions, causing a dizzying sensation with a defeated sigh reluctantly set the document aside. The complexity of the instructions left me staggered, with a barrage of unanswered questions lingering in my thoughts. This is hard to believe. Yet duty beckoned, and the handbook remained a necessity for the present. I swiftly stored away and set about organizing my garments and provisions. My modest belongings found their proper places with ease. Disposing of my day attire, I hung them neatly and settled into bed, closing my eyes. I surrendered to a surge of thoughts. The imposing exterior of the manor might suggest otherwise, but the inhabitants did not seem inherently wicked. As the day events began to fade into the background, I find myself replaying the faces and voices of those I had met. The guard Lewis coachman, the perceptive footman, Miss Quayler, a rather enigmatic person, the particular supervisor, Alice. And then there was Thomas, the one whose condescending manner left an unpleasant aftertaste. But it was Lord Edward, the heir to the manor, who held my attention. His gaze, faintly tinged with concern, mingled in my mind, a stark contrast to the resentment he seemed to evoke in others. He didn't seem that bad. My mind, tinged with thoughts, sought solace in slumber. A yawn involuntarily escaped my lips as I rubbed the corners of my eyes, succumbing to the overwhelming fatigue that enveloped me. In the blink of an eye, I drifted into the realm of dreams, leaving behind the day's events. The jarring resonance of a knock tore me from the blink of sleep. With a groggy mind, I threw away my surroundings, only to discover the room shrouded in an impenetrable darkness. Struggling to maintain my bearings, I hastily assessed my attire, then cautiously approached the door. I thought waiting with impending disruption. Oh! A sudden realization hit me, and I instinctively held back my words. The established guidelines clearly stated that any visit extending beyond the designated working hours was to be dismissed. This is a policy adhered to by all, and I had no doubt that my fellow servant would uphold it as well. Yet, if this was the case, then why did the insistent keep knocking persist? Clara, are they not informed that this room is occupied? The handbook mention of night watchmen suggested that the knocking could be forbidden them, operating within the confines of the policy. It raised the question of whether it would be right to open the door and inform the night watch of my presence. As the knocking continued, I enraged in a lengthy deliberation. Oh, my first choice. Chad, do we open the door or we don't open the door? What do we do? You know, it does say don't open the door. Well, what if I open the door? What if it's Edward? What if you know what? Should we die? Because if we open the door and we die, then, you know, now we know not to open the door. But, you know what? I want to open it. The quorum, one would presume, demanding moment pause to insert an invitation before entering a knock. Of the insistent, urgent rhythm of the knocking hinted at an impending crisis. Alarmed, I inquired, eager to identify the person on the other side. Who's there? The door stilled from its insistent battering, replaced by a familiar voice that echoed through the corridor. It's me, Olivia Coiler. With the press of my lips and an eye roll, I hesitantly cracked open the door. Miss Coiler's pitiful expression met me on the other side. My apologies. Why did it think that I imagined being sent home violating the rules of my very first night? Thomas would have been in stitches if he see this, his raucous laughter filling the room. Yet as I steeled myself for a harsh reprimand, Miss Coiler with an unexpected kindness offered me a word of consultation. Unwind yourself, I came to check knowing this would happen. And for that, multiple individuals have faced repercussions for the reckless disregard of the rules led by Miss Coilers and Nelson visit. Despite my initial apprehension, I was immensely grateful that no disciplinary action was forthcoming, a sign of relief involuntarily escaping my lips. Do keep in mind, though, a second relapse is impermissible. Indeed. With a sigh of resignation, I closed the door on Square there, watching her retreating figure disappear around the corner. The lingering embarrassment of my close call threat to engulf me. I was on the verge of burying my flushed face in the pillow when another knock compelled me to reopen the door. How? I watched Miss Quaither walk away and I closed the door behind her. Who could possibly be knocking on my door if not horror? My body, paralyzed by a mixture of horror and anticipation, remained motionless, as if suspended in time. How the fuck did I end up at a church? Oh, it's the mausoleum. Do you guys like my narrator voice? I messed up, so we just gotta go bald now. At dawn broke, sleep continued to elude me, leaving fatigue as my unwelcome companion. I preserved through the morning, but the solitude of the mausoleum proved too much for my weary body. With each methodical sweep of the floor, my eyelids succumbed to the lure of sleep. My head sank lower under the warm sun's embrace. Let me just...
とても疲れているようですね。
What? Who just spoke to? Who are you? I'm scared. Who are you? I jolted awake. I did too. What the fuck? Oh, what a figure emerged from the shadows. Its presence casting a chill over me. It was the Lord, the imposing figure I had been warned against. His hand gently cradled a floral arrangement, presumably a tribute to the departed. My lips quivered, torn between embarrassment and awkwardness. Oh, sorry, man. I fell asleep on the job. My bad. Hello. It's quite a splendid afternoon, isn't it, Bov? I see you got some lovely pantaloons there. I'm just complimenting you on your pants. I don't know what I'm saying. The Lord, had taken aback from a transcendent moment, revealed a tranquil smile.
はい。いい天気です。
Oh, hold on. You're kind of loud, not gonna lie. Oh, well, I didn't get much sleep last night, you know, whatever. Yeah, this is Edward.
おや、どうして？
I'm not gonna lie to you, I was reading Yaoi. It's, something unsettling occurred during the night, you know?
ああ。
Lord Edward nodded sagely, his expression indicating that he had grasped the nature of the unsettling event. Dude, you have ghosts in your house, bro. The fuck you still living here for? Leave!
私はもう慣れていますが、 初めての方にとっては恐ろしいことかもしれませんね。
You think? Has this occurred frequently for you? Or like this new? Did you make this happen? You kind of look like a ghost, no cap, I'm not gonna lie.
お母さんが亡くなってからずっとですね。
So your
だから
mom...
ずいぶん前からですね。
Your mom cursed your house? That's crazy. With an air of poison... Riz or whatever. Y'all can make fun of me, I don't care. I'm skipping that word. Lord Edward swept past me, his movements exuding an effortless grace. He gently lowered himself to the ground, his hands gracefully placing the bouquet of flowers upon the tombstone. As the sunlight brushed against his closed eyelids, an ethereal glow emanated from the corner of his eyes, casting a mesmerizing aura around him. Edward's death? This looked nothing like that crackhead. Hey, you listen, Edward says their hands look like he was doing crack. I ain't gonna lie. It was a sight of, and I've never seen the movie, so maybe he was. I don't know. If anyone gets says his hands, they probably do. It was this. Well, besides Wolverine, he got experimented on, but he don't really get scissor hands. He got like things in his fingers. Anyway, it was a sight of such captivating beauty, almost surreal, that I found myself questioning the reality of the scene unfolding before me. With a final murmur of prayer, Lord Edward gently opened his eyes, his expression serene and composed.
ともあれ、この邸宅に来たことを歓迎します。もし何かあったら気軽に話してください。
What does everyone hate you, bro? You seem nice. His considerate attitude started to thaw my suspicions. Edward's sparkly skin. Please, call me Clara. A sudden chill crept down my spine, wrenching my attention away from my task. As I tried to find myself locked in Alice's gaze, her expression as unreadable as ever, a broom held firmly in her grasp. Her unexpected presence disoriented me, as I had been under the impression that I would be working alone today. Sweeping that done yet? Anticipating the scolding that soon to loom, I shot Lord Edward a momentary apprehensive look. You're my boss, man. Tell her I can do... His composure suggests that he had anticipated Alice's actions, and he discreetly turned away.
仕事中でしたね。続けてください。
No, don't leave me, Edward! Alice's stern countenance... Whatever. She looked at me nervously. Oh, I'm sorry. I was rigid. It's alright, nothing untoward happened. In fact, he seemed pretty kind. Kind, you haven't witnessed the low-life nature of his— Whoa! Low-life? Alice's head swayed in disapproval as she whispered her disgust at the idea, but her reaction barely made a dent in my thoughts. What did he do? Our interaction was brief and unremarkable. Why have we got beef with him? He seems nice. However, I knew Alice would dismiss my account with disbelief, prompting me to release a heavy sigh. Wait, what? I knew Alice would dismiss— He simply expressed his concern for my well-being. Because he loves me. He's the heir to the grand estate. I am but a humble servant. That's how every fanfiction starts. I have my hands full with my duties, that's for certain. With a resolved shake, I pushed my thoughts aside and stepped into the manor. The distraction may be swift, but the work is eternal. That's so real. Good morning, everyone. Clara, how come you're up this early? Happen to be up early today. Plus, we have deep cleaning coming up, don't we? Oh my god, Bruce, our little Clara has grown up to be the big maid. That's me. I've always been a maid. Their playful snorts hung in the air, hinting at their enduring perception of me as a familiar face. I called a sigh and gathered my equipment, knowing I'd have to navigate the manor yet again as the new kid. 2 months have passed since I arrived at this— 2 months? Dang. Which meant that Thomas should be drowning in regret by now over his empty wallet. When in their eyes, I remain a mere newcomer. Well, that's a shame for you, but I'm already feeling confident. With a murmured sigh, I embark on my descent, my gaze drawn to the ethereal sunlight streaming through the windows. The corridors, once stepped in an enigmatic aura of mystery interpretation, now seem less ominous, their gloom dispelled by the gentle embrace of the morning sun. Ugh, there's that shadow again. It's Jeff. Despite my growing familiarities with the Mater's layout, I still couldn't shake off the lingering sense of disquest that clung to its walls. With a fearing crease in my brow, I swiftly pivoted and descended the stairs, my eyes darting nervously away from the lurking shadow. Opting for a longer route, I decided to circumvent the left corner, my heart pounding with a mix of apprehension and determination. The shadow's ominous presence loomed large, casting a pall over my otherwise resolute steps. I'm running late! Oh gosh. The anticipation quickened my steps. Oh, for I sensed the presence of one awaiting me. Morning, have you come to make another visit? Oh, is it Edward? True to my expectations, Edward sat poised before the tombstone, our invisible connection drawing him to this familiar spot. Yo, what's up, Edward? As I approach, his face lit up with a smile as radiant as a flower in full bloom, a silent welcome that transcends world. Is he gonna murder me?
今日に限って日差しがよく当たるね。いい天気だよ。
No, it looks great. I agree, it's almost spring. My closer acquaintances with Lord Edward, I discovered a stark contrast between the perception others had instilled in me and the reality of the man himself. He low-key chill. He possessed a depth of compassion that defined the callous reputation he bore. It's a trait that slowly chipped away at the preconceived notions I had harbored. My instincts, thought often dismissed as unreliable by those who deemed me insensitive, seeming to be offering a mere nuisance understanding of Lord Edward. Lord Edward was cool. Though repeated interactions, I began to discern qualities that had eluded me before, a tapestry of kindness and empathy woven into the core of his being. Even now, he was a silent oasis of support amidst the flurry of fallen leaves while I raked the grass. Like a gardener tending to his plants, he listened attentively as I shared my thoughts, nurturing them with his presence. Ooh, okay, we like chat and chat with them. Could the frequency of return of mausoleum attendance be the reason? But it's been 2 months already.
時間が経てばきっと良くなるだろう。トーマスはもう何も言ってないよ。
Man, Thomas, nobody likes that guy. Well, I guess he lost the bet, my lord. I didn't come across as childish, do I?
クララは大人のように見えるよ。
Oh, thanks. You're not being sarcastic, are you?
褒め言葉だよ。
Uncertain of the prosperity of a servant forming such a close bond with their employer, I nonetheless found solace in the quiet moments shared with Lord Edward. Dude, we're gonna bang. Our conversation flowed. I was struck by the unexpected parallels between us, a realization that sparked both wonder and curiosity. It was a curious phenomenon, the way the Lord and a servant, despite their vastly different states, could discover a common ground that bound them together. It's like when the rich and the poor talk to each other and they realize that they both eat food.
おじがハガキを送ってきたよ。
Your uncle? Lord Brandon? What are these names?
今回は海を渡るそうだ。到着したら写真を送ってくれると言っていたんだ。
This sounds quite exciting. I'd love to travel like that someday.
そうだね。なんて美しいんだろう。
We should do it together! Edward's expression softened into a wistful reverie. As if he were already aboard its ship, slicing through the waves on his own grand adventure. A youthful vibrancy previously concealed by his usual stoicism, now radiated from his features. For the first time, he looked his actual age. I placed my rake aside and settled myself down a comfortable distance away. Why not travel when you have the opportunity?
そうできたらいいのだが。
An awkward smile smeared across Edward's face, his voice trailing off as he hesitated to continue. No, what? It's clear that he was judging a particular subject, most likely the illness of Robert, the manor's ruler. Oh, that, like, I got a baby mama, I gotta pay her. I completely understand your hesitation. It's a sensitive topic. You should tell me anyway. Edward's lips moved silently, forming and discarding words, until finally he tried to mask his...
ありがとう。
Whatever. I tried. I really did. The morning slips away quickly, filled with lively conversation and laughter. No! He's gone! The lunch hour had flown by, and now Edward, filled with regret, actively sought to help with the remaining cleanup. Unfortunately, his efforts at cleaning proved less than fruitful, creating more work than he intended. He does work? As I organized the cleaning supplies, a sudden sound pierced the silence, drowning my attention. Did he drop a plate? Bruce stood there, his arms folded across his chest, a playful smile dancing on his lips. Yo, Bruce! I don't know who Bruce is. Here we go again. Blimey, Clara, what have you been hiding all this morning? Now, Bruce, if I may remind you, my duties lie with the upkeep of the mausoleum. You've been with Lord Edward again. What's the meaning of again? It's not like we're glued to the hip or anything. Oh, really? Don't think I haven't noticed what's brewing. Oh, honestly, Bruce, give it a rest. It's not what you think. Cut off Bruce's interference with a firm voice, needing to focus on the precise task at hand. Bruce gave a nonchalant shrug. Nonchalant, come on, spill the beans. Everyone's nosy about where you've been all morning. Oh, please drop it, Bruce. I'm already on edge after bumping into that thing again today. Do exclamation point throne. That's it? Just because of that one little beastie? Don't make much sense, does it? What if I told you I was struggling to wake leaves? Well, that could be tiring work, I suppose. Bruce, I know this might sound silly, but you know how long it can take to learn something new? Don't make me feel bad about it. Bruce grinned broadly, showing off his crooked teeth that made him look a bit intimidating. I kept my face blank, refusing to let it get to me. Here, I'll do it. Hold on. There's the link. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt this time. Well, thanks for nothing. But you better watch yourself, Lord Edward. No... What? I turn and walk away, feeling a slight chill despite the warm day. It was difficult to tell a lie, especially one so out of character. But nobody's interested in befriending Lord Edward other than me. Olivia's words about Lord Edward's rebellious and unpredictable nature echoed in my mind. Despite Lord Robert and Lord Edward being the masters of the manor, everyone seems to unquestionably accept Olivia's betrayal of him. They don't believe me, but he's such a nice person. Why can't they see it? What did you do? I'll leave them alone if they weren't open to conversation. I dissented. His lack of assertiveness bothered me. Thank you for the donation! Oh my gosh, I appreciate that. Thank you. That is so kind of you. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. You are too kind. Thank you. Especially since the respect is rightfully due as a family member and an employer. I will let him continue withdrawing from those around him. Drawing strength from Lady Jane's wisdom about relationships, I pushed open the door. On the side, I informed that Olivia had summoned me. You won't let me do for 20 minutes. Oh no, I'm sorry. Come in. I closed the door swiftly and approached her. The room was overflowing with papers and envelopes. Clearly neglected due to the Lord's absence. Clara, at your service, ma'am. Taking a deep breath to steady my nerves, I offered a greeting. Olivia, her eyes momentarily glued to the documents before her, eventually looked up and removed her glasses. With a gentle press of her finger to her forehead, she acknowledged my presence. I love your content, thank you so very much. And it's like, thank you so very much for being here and enjoying my content. I appreciate it. That was such a generous donation. Thank you. Took a seat in the chair in front of her. My desire to depart grew stronger with each passing moment. How may I help you? Do I work at McDonald's? Alice happened to mention that you've been working through your lunch breaks, Clara. Is that so? Well, I told Mr. Robert cares for the mausoleum, so I haven't summoned you to reprimand you as it's proof of hard work in the slightest. You have a great streamer, so thank you so much, Shaw. Have a great rest of your day. Stay punk to stay sleep, and I'll see you next time. Papa Punk! Alright, I must insist that you don't skip meals. Seeing myself for Olivia's prompted dismissal, I was met instead with the unexpected praise for my meticulous work. This was surprised by compounded by my previous anticipation of accusations of napping from Alice and Bruce. As I complimented whether to rise, Olivia abruptly began divulging details of her personal situation. Here, to be honest, the Lord hasn't been feeling quite himself lately. Oh no, is that so? Edward's downcast expression made sense now. This is what weighed heavily on his mind. Olivia's gentle smile and nod suggested a misunderstanding of my words. Yes, to that I am in charge of his care. Next to that, I blinked momentarily confused on Olivia's cryptic comment. As I am unable to leave the manor, I would like you to pick up the medical supplies in my stead. My jaw dropped at the enticing offer. Pardon? Because there's too much inconvenience for you, there's no obligation. Not at all, it's not difficult at all. Olivia's unexpected compliments were ununderstandable now. Given the circumstances, I have little choice but to accept her offer. Reconsidering the implication of Olivia's words and my own lack of options, I simply offered a smile. That settles it then. I'll notify you when we're scheduled. For now, concentrate on the primary tasks. I will, girl. As you wish. Cutting on you, Clara. I got you, girl. A grateful nod escaped my lips, masking the bewilderment that whatever was. Lady Jane's recommendations spoke volumes of my capabilities. Surely Olivia wouldn't assign this responsibility without unwavering assurance of my reliability. Wouldn't you agree, my lord?
まあ、オリビアはそんな紹介状一つで心を変える人ではないから、ただ君のことが気に入ったんじゃないか?
Oh my gosh. What aspect of my character? Like, I mean, there's a lot about me to like.
オリビアだけが知っているだろう。
Okay, then what do you like about me? Edward lowered himself onto the grassy ground, and I took a seat beside him. Ooh, we sitting close together now. Alright. Though I harbored some discontent, I nodded. I trust the journey will not be overly strenuous.
業者がちゃんと連れて行ってくれるだろう。心配いらないよ。
I still have some butterflies in my stomach. Have you ever been there by any chance? Edward's head denied the question with a subtle shake. These trips were usually left to the servants, but his expression hinted at something unspoken. As I released a heavy sigh, a fortuitous concept ballooned in my mind, leading me to redirect. Oh. Alice mentioned a harbor near our destination. Why don't we venture there together? The path stretched slightly longer than anticipated, but with brisk steps we could chase the setting sun and reach the manor before dusk painted the sky. Is he gonna come out of the manor with us? However, apart from the sandy expanse of the beach held its own captivating allure. I gazed up at Edward with enthusiasm, but he appeared somewhat perplexed. What do you mean perplexed?
それはちょっと難しいんじゃないかな。
Why? If you're concerned about your father, he should be alright. We'll only be away for a day.
うん、それもあるけど、やっぱりできない。ごめんね。
Shadow of regret crossed Edward's face as he gently declined my suggestion. His lips pursed tight slightly, and his usually bright eyes seemed to cloud over with a hint of sorrow. The vibrancy of Edward's deep azure eyes dimmed like the dying embers of fire, mirroring the unfathomable depths of the ocean. A veil of disguised emotion clouded his face, hinting at a hidden turmoil within. The untold words hung heavy in the air, a tangible barrier between us. Edward's clenched jaw and furrowed brows betrayed the secret he chose not to share with me. Ooh, we're gonna see about clothes. Alright. A wave of wishfulness wasn't momentarily morphing his features to a mask of near anguish, but the storm quickly subsided, replaced by a quiet resignation that settled upon his counter-trend like a whatever.
クララ、君の言う通り、僕には屋敷を出ない他の理由があるんだ。
Yeah.
でも、君には言いたくない。
I guess you don't have to, you don't want to. Oh, mine too.
うん。ごめんね。
No, it's alright. A sharp pain of disappointment pierced my heart as he drew a line, like a cold blade severing the thread of intimacy. Whoa! Yet I clenched my jaw and forced my muscles into a mask of neutrally, determined to not betray the storm raging within me. I knew that our bond, though cherished, lacked the depth and intimacy that warrant the sharing of every secret. We were not confinements in the truest sense. The realization settled upon me like a heavy cloak, dampening the spark of hope that flickered within me. Oh boy, don't like me like that. No. Despite the churning turmoil within, I forced the corners of my lips upwards in a sublime of a smile. I must have disturbed you. Please excuse my rudeness.
いや、クララ、全然迷惑じゃないよ。
Despite the shadow of doubt that crossed his face earlier, Edward's demeanor changed, radiating eagerness.
むしろ嬉しかった。
His words filled me with a sense of perplexity. Well, that's what I'm saying. The fuck are you talking about? Despite possessing the freedom to depart, Edward seemed inexplicably confined within the manor. People treated him as a liability, despite being employed by him and his family. And Edward endured it all with an unwavering submissiveness, never venturing beyond the manor's walls. It became glaringly obvious that the secrets he hoarded close to his chest were the missing pieces to the puzzle of his existence. Ooh, fire line. Okay, chapter 3, let's go. Is he like a ghost or something? Are we all ghost? Clara, Miss Quayler requested your presence in her room. Of course she did. Hearing my name, I instantly transported back to the conversation we had just shared. My curiosity piqued. The memory of her request on an errand needing my assistance resurfaced in my thoughts. I still haven't done it yet. Setting aside the cleaning supplies, I hurried to Olivia's quarters, recognizing the urgency in her tone and responding with a decisive knock upon the door. Come in. Blop, blop. Papers still littered the room. Testament to the ongoing task of organization that Olivia diligently undertook. The mere words felt like growing weight in my chest, forcing me to interrupt the symphony of rustling papers and finally make myself known. Good morning, Miss Quayler. Ah, Clara. You're here. I thought it might be someone else. Olivia reached her arms and retrieved a pair of papers. These letters note down the symptoms of illness. Please be careful to not lose them. I'm gonna eat the paper. Certainly, I will be cautious. Olivia confirmed that she would call me once the carriage arrived tomorrow, including a map for good measure. Ooh. Her thoroughness left me speechless, making me worried. My worries shared with Edward the previous day. Okay. I apologize for the urgency. Precision is crucial since Lord will be relying on those medications, so don't forget to obtain the medication directions from the doctor. Yes, I'll ensure to get them. As I carefully folded the paper, I tucked it securely into my front pocket. In the midst of my actions, Olivia's voice pierced the air, carrying the weight of a sudden recollection. Anyway, Claire, whispers have reached me of you spending much time with a young lord. Is there any truth to that? What? I would never. Oh no, of course not. Never seemed to buy my act. Olivia's discerning eyes revealed the truth beneath the surface. A spectacle frown creased Olivia's features, communicating her disbelief without a single spoken word. I had my own suspicions. Now I know where to place them. Well, I don't blame you. Lord Edward is a willing man. He seemed innocent. Her words caused me a considerable distress, prompting me to attempt a defense. Unfortunately, my discontent failed to elicit any response from Olivia. And with that innocent of his, he managed to make 13 servants quit their jobs. Claire, I have a duty to protect the servants, and that includes you. You have to keep in mind that everything I say, even if it seems harsh, is to keep you safe. Understood, ma'am. A sigh escaped my lips as I pushed open the door and stepped into the hallway. My head throbbed with the don't like, a physical echo of the turmoil brewing within me. If Edward truly is what Olivia claims, then what has been his motive in engaging with me? But the headache quickly faded, leaving me no trace to present it on my present self. Who was I fooling? I was once Lady Jane's fiery maid, a rebel punished tenfold but forever proud. Or at least that's who I was before I came here. Being bold in words is simpler than putting it into action. Their recent warnings echoed in my mind. Mostly about your tenure, of course. We place a friendly wager amongst ourselves how long you last before throwing in the towel. But I watch your step with Lord Edward. That's the rule. Here, I have a duty to protect the servants, and that includes you. Decision sent me to avoid Edward like the plague, but he's not exactly someone I can easily dismiss. Ignoring him altogether is an impossibility. Oh, I must say their suggestion that I simply disregard my employer is quite perplexing. It seems that they lost touch with the realities of the workplace. With every sigh, I continued wiping down the tombstone. The thinking about it, the more I doubt. It's getting way too complicated.
何がそんなに難しいの?
Man, these motherfuckers. I gas escaped my lips as I flung the mop cloth at Edward. With precise ease, he snagged it out of the air as if he anticipated my outburst. Dang. Hesitated, unsure whether to commend his reflexes honed after countless days of dodging my impromptu projectiles. Like that, a wordless duel, our eyes met, and Edward's face gradually flushed a deep crimson. Why?
どうしてそんなに人をじっと見るの?
Maybe my brain has died by what people have been saying.
僕が?
Including you too. But the blame primarily rested on the other shoulders. I mused inwardly, my gaze remained fixated on Edward's eyes. I peered into his eyes, searching for a trace of the villain they claimed he was. His eyes held no hint of malice, only a tinge of exhaustion. Despite the warnings of others, I could not bring myself to treat Edward with disdain. With a timid glance around, I began narrating the events that had unfolded. My story left Edward's face ashen, his features etched with a profound sense of gravity.
オリビアがそう言ったの？僕が13人を追い出した暴れん坊だと？
Even though I can't prove it, I'm telling the truth.
まさか。クララ、僕は君を信じてい
Oh,
る。
is he gonna kill Olivia? Please.
ただ、オリビアがそのような噂を広めたことに少し困惑しているだけだ。
Edward paused, his eyes meeting mine with a steely determination that spoke volumes. Steely determination.
クララ、証明したいことがあるんだ。よかったら今夜、お墓に出てきてくれる？
Tonight?
君が嫌なら来なくてもいいよ。もう
No,
そ
it
んな
won't
こ
be
と言わない。
tonight. Don't worry about that, boy. The echo of Olivia's disapproval lingered in my mind as a reminder of the trust I had betrayed. Yeah, Edward's desperate expression pierced my defenses, making me question my resolve. Should I trust him and break the rules? Oh! Hold up now. We're gonna save here. Okay, you guys decide if we should. You know what? I'm gonna be gone just a hot second. So I'll turn on some music because there's no music in the game right now. So I'll be right back. Give me a second. I'm back. Well, there was music. It wasn't music before I left. We're gonna trust Edward because I like Edward more. If you ask me, the answer is undeniably a resounding yes. Oh, I don't have it on auto, my bad. In a rather peculiar turn of events, I'm convinced that Edward and I encountered was a man of profound authenticity. What can I do for you? Edward's eyes widened in astonishment as he grasped the implication behind my question. His jaw clenched tightly, attempting to suppress a surge of emotion, and then he methodically outlined the plan.
12時にここで会おう。
With a gentle press, he placed his pocket watch in my palm, his eyes filled with a silent promise. My fingers traced the contours of the watch's lid, and I nodded in understanding. The task was simple enough. The rules of this matter are not indefinite. Forbidden hints at the measurably of afflicts. Perhaps that's why I'm still allowed to remain in this manner and even converse with Edward once more today. Perhaps I should recall an employee handbook mention of the night watchman. This is sure that the corridors pose no regret. If an unsettling feeling crept into my eye, I could swiftly retreat to the safety of my room. I guess along to my daring escape failed, I could always resort to begging Lady Jane for her favor once more. With a furtive glance at my pocket watch, I glanced the doorknob and my fingers trembling slightly. Give me 1 second. But the hinges generously oiled here to my touch without a single creak, allowing the door to open silently. Door to empty rooms must be open, but I'll make an exception this time. The weight of the 4 transgressions pressed down on me, each one a stone in my heart. The air crackled with the anticipation for an explosive, a fearsome storm brewing. However, a defiant spirit, a glimmering candle in the darkness, ignited within me. With a weary sigh, I slipped out of the door, closing with a final thud, leaving my actions to be judged by the uncertain hand of fate. From the vantage point of the master bedroom window, the mausoleum stood unmissable. This meant its presence dominated the landscape directly opposite the servants' quarters. With the urgency of a fugitive, I sprinted across the first floor corridor, a feeling of thief clinging to my skin. I pounded in my chest, each footstep echoing in the stillness. Every shadow held the potential danger, and I was primed to vanish into the darkness at a moment's notice. Yet the anticipation encountered never materialized. The profound silence that shrouded the manor's house instilled a sense of unease, making me question the presence of any night watchmen altogether. Is anyone here? With a murmured word barely audible, I stepped out into the courtyard. The stillness of the night was shattered by the sudden intrusion of the orange glow, slowly but steadily approaching. I retreated into the shadows of the trees, peeking cautiously from behind a sturdy trunk. If anyone was bold enough to flout the rules, I reasoned it would only be Edward. However, as the approaching figure materialized into the moonlight, my heart lurched and the blood drained from my face, leaving me pale and trembling. Who was it? Who is it? Huh? A figure emerged from the darkness, her form obscured by a floating robe. It was Olivia, her imposing frame barely concealed by the garment. Despite the wind whipping at the lantern in her hand, its flame revealed a captivating aura that transcended the attempt of anomaly. Her eyes glued to her, glued to her every move. I watched her progress with a mixture of trepidation and fascination. The path leads to the annex building. We're possibly going out in the empty annex building at this late hour. My curiosity simmered, urging me to follow Olivia's footstep with constant vigilance. Olivia's face faltered after a short distance, and she paused before a diplomated structure halfway between the courtyard of the imposing annex building. I caught a glimpse of it earlier. Ciabatta? Of course you would say that. Welcome to the stream, very hope you're positive day, blah blah blah. Leave it, hydration and posture check. I definitely need a hydrate break. I've been reading a lot. Now. Sorry, my head was at the thing. I know reading must have been scary. It is. The cabin appeared ready to crumble at any moment, and its weathered timbers groaning under the weight of negligence. Olivia, however, seemed unfazed by its precarious stay. With a practiced hand, she opened the door and slipped inside. As the door cracked shut, I carefully approached and gave the knob a gentle turn. Of course she wouldn't leave it unlocked. Something of immense significance must have been concealed within those walls, evident in the deliberate act of securing the door at this unsettling hour. My mind raced with the possibilities and urged to unravel the truth, but then the weight of my initial business came crashing down, leaving me no choice but to turn away, a frustrated sigh escaping my lips. Well, she's the housekeeper, so I guess working overnight wouldn't be entirely unexpected. If she had to sneak around like that in the middle of the night, it must have been way more urgent than I first thought. I attempted to rationalize her actions, justifying them in my mind as I turned and walked away, yet the weight of my concern remained, manifesting in the heaviness of my steps. Reaching the mausoleum, I found Edward leaning against the cold stone, his eyes closed in contemplation. Bathed in the soft moonlight, he seemed unaware of his hair glowing an ethereal blue, its color intensified by the night. This gave him an air of quiet mesquite. My lord, I'm here. The sound of my call reaching him, drawn his eyes open gradually, a gentle smile like the first rays of dawn spread across his face.
よく来てくれたね。大変じゃなかった？
Not really. Not at all. I'm a regular here now.
そう？よかったね。迎えに行くことができなくて心配だったんだ。
He gathered the blanket that had been resting in his lap.
話が長くなりそうだから準備したよ。
It's alright. I'm not feeling the chill too much. Give me that fucking blanket. I extended my hand with haste, hoping to convince him of the mild temperature, but Edward didn't seem to believe me. No, really, I mean it, my lord. You should put the blanket on. Edward's hand appeared, palm open and inviting, his fingers outstretched like a bridge waiting to be crossed. 40 degrees, keep your damn blanket. I locked my eyes with him, then intertwined our fingers. He slowly pulled me closer, the warmth of his touch radiating through my palm. He led me to the seat beside him, his gentle tug a silent command to join him. Ooh, we holding hands. He's pregnant now.
これはどう？こうすれば二人ともかけられるけど。
Edward was draping the blanket over our shoulders when his hands stilled, the blanket suspended in midair. A gasp escaped his lips, not from exertion, but from the sudden awareness of proximity. The warmth of his presence intensified under the shared blanket, and I turned to look at him, drawn in by his nearness. Don't be shy, boy. The silence stretched thick and heavy, until Edward, like a rusty wind-up toy, began to turn his head. His cheeks, flushed with a rosy glow, were visible in the moonlight's soft luminance.
あ、ごめん。近すぎた。
Hold on, y'all. I gotta take a picture of my dumb odd dog. She in the weirdest position right now. Hold on. Ah! Hold on. I gotta take a picture of this. Aw, man. Oh, because I took a picture, you had to move? Whatever. She's laying on her back, but she's like bent at like a 90-degree angle. And then she has all of her legs in the air. You know how like some dogs can lay on their backs? With their feet straight up in the air? But she's curved in her cage. She's looking like that. And her mouth is like falling open. She only does that when she's like really tired and she's in her cage. Like if she's just laying on the floor or something, or on a bed, she doesn't do that. It's only in her cage that she does that. She only does it in her cage, bro. I don't know. It's alright. You were just trying to be thoughtful.
気まずかったら立ってもいいよ。いや、僕が立った方がいい
You
ね。
gotta sit there, boy. Well, I'm perfectly fine, my lord. Please, remain seated. My attempt to rise from the ground became a comedic spectacle as my feet tangled in the treacherous depths of the blanket. Oh my god. Edward, the unwitting president in my impromptu performance, attempted to regain his balance, but our efforts were doomed to failure. Oh, did he land on top of me? We rolled across the floor in a flurry of limbs. When we finally came to a stop, our faces were only a few inches apart. Ooh, we're gonna kiss? I couldn't help but laugh at the ridiculousness of the blanket engulfing us like a playful octopus. That's what I think of, too. Edward, caught in the unexpected turn of events, soon joined in. Our laughter filled the night with joy and a touch of self-depreciating humor. After a while, breathless and grinning, we entangled ourselves and continued our conversation, the memory of our shared clumsiness forever etched in our minds. Said I feel like an octopus and then I'm leaving?
大丈夫?
Yeah, I'm good. I laughed so hard I can hardly stand up straight. I peed my pants. You see that yellow puddle? That's me.
実は僕も
You peed your pants too? Pee boy. Seriousness of our intended conversation was swept away by a wave of embarrassment. In its wake, a lighter atmosphere emerged, filled with playful laughter. This shift in mood allowed me to reframe my question, infusing it with a touch of humor that mirrored the new-come ease we now shared. Well, now that the air is clear, perhaps you'd like to share what brings you here tonight, sir? Do you want to make double?
二人で気楽に話がしたかったんだ
I'm not getting pregnant. The day felt suffocating, filled with the weight of countless eyes watching our every move. The persistent scrutiny of the other servants made it difficult for Edward and me to find a comfortable space for a private conversation. Edward gave a hefty sigh and pushed himself into a seated position.
君が僕を信頼しているのか知りたかったし
Without question, I trust you, my lord.
うん今は僕もそう思っている
The rigidancy of his features softened, replaced by an expression that spoke of ease and comfort. The seriousness that had once clouded his mind was now replaced by a spark of youthful spirit. This wasn't a setback, but a revelation. It warmed my heart to see him finally open up and reveal his true self. Persona? When I became aware of his intensity of my gaze, Edward gently looked away.
それじゃあ少し歩こうか夜に見る庭園はかなり美しいんだ
Can you just talk, boy? The garden? It's probably too dark to see much, wouldn't you say? The garden, which I had noticed through the corridor windows before coming here, was completely shrouded in impenetrable darkness. But Edward, his hand outstretched with unwavering confidence, dispelled it with a reassuring gesture. Intensity of his gaze, yeah. A kind soul that had premeditatively lit the lamps, alleviating my alleviating. That's what gave him his confidence. I reckon. Looking around, okay, that was really bad. Let's skip that. My word, this place is a complete metamorphosis from its earlier state.
夜の庭は邸宅の自慢なんだ以前はここで一晩中パーティーを開いていたみたいなんだよ
Ooh, party. Don't tell me you still do that, do you?
いろんな事情が重なってね
Edward's voice, though laced with a hint of worry, carried a hopeful melody I haven't heard before. What is that melody?
お父さんが全快されたらまた始めようかと思う
I have full confidence that he will recover. Lifting the candle stand beside me, I meet Edward's warm smile, and we began our work. The air hung heavy until we reached the fountain, where he finally broke the silence and spoke. Finally.
君も知っているだろうがこの邸宅では
I'm gonna be honest,
誰
something
も
that
僕
said
に話し
ostrich.
かけてくれない
This probably has something to do with Miss Quayler's orders.
単に指針のためではないクララ僕は
Edward's lips became a tight line. The subject still a thorny berry between his... Oh, get it? Thorns? Name of the game? The candlelight flickered and danced in his hazy blue eyes, reflecting the turmoil within. Sensing his struggle, I reached out, a silent offering of comfort. Perhaps we can discuss this matter next time. Then what's the point of him meeting us?
次はないかもしれない。
Huh? He murmured, a voice trembling with unease. Startled, I yelped and flinched. What am I, a dog? My sole focus had been solely on him, rendering me oblivious to the stone peak jutting out from the ground. Acting swiftly, Edward wrapped his arm around me, but inevitably dropped the candle stand. No! The shortened candle tumbled down, its flames sputtering and dying in the darkness. Now we can't see him. A moment of silence settled upon us before Edward cupped my cheek, his touch gentle and reassuring. Oh, are we gonna kiss?
大丈夫?
Carrie, it should have. Yes, my lord, but the candle lights. What will we do? With every sigh escaping my lips, I felt the tension ease from Edward's embrace as he lessened his hold.
音がしたから人が来るだろう。部屋まで連れて行ってあげる。
I assure you I'm alright. Please proceed ahead of me.
いや、僕が呼び出したのに、一人にさせる
He
のは
wanted
ちょっ
me
とあ
to
れだよ。
he wanted me to meet him to talk about something, and the bro never talked about it. But I'm your servant, and you're my
どうせ
master.
戻るでしょ?
Not in a weird sexual way, though. What do you mean? My room is on the opposite side to your... A piercing epiphany jolted me upright. You're returning to the mausoleum again? Edward inclined his head in a timid acknowledgement.
眠れない日には時々そうするんだ。気分が良くなるんだよ。
And let's meet him. I want to tell you something. I'll tell you some other day. I would be so mad. Even on a night as frigid as this, you'll surely fall ill if you remain awake all night.
さっきは寒くないって言ってなかった?
It most certainly is now. Edward's lips twisted into a bemused smile, his surprise betraying him at my bold declaration. He shifted awkwardly, unable to meet my gaze, and glanced down at the floor.
仕方ないね。
His expression bore a curious mix of embarrassment and an inexplicable pleasure, as he had never encountered such a feeling before. Why did I read this so robotically? Astonishment washed over me as I witnessed this unfamiliar side of him, prompting me to turn my head away in surprise. This feeling was strange, a nebulous sensation that... I know that word! Chat, I know the nebulous word because it's in Omniscient Reader's viewpoint, because there's nebula and everything. That's how... See? See? I learn things. Thank you. Thank you. I learn things. Thank you, chat. Thank you. See? Being a nerd works. Being a nerd works. I might learn things slower, but I still learn. Cloaked in the pretense of vigilance. What? Vigil, suck my dick. What does that word mean? Vigilant? Listen. I know, you know, well, technically America was made by the Native Americans first, but, you know, England had to come over here and all that shit. Genuinely, fuck you, England. Fuck you for making English. Making your bum-ass English, too. Like, what is that? Vigilance? Oh, I figured it out. But anyway, some of the... What, labyrinth? What is that? British English? Fuck you. Labyrinth. I shouted at him as we made through. Oh, labyrinth? That's not how you spell labyrinth. Is it? Okay, anyway. My point still stands. It's stupid. He pivoted towards me, his eyes asking a silent question. Are you happy now? My hand simply reached for the door now. Yeah, that's not what that word was. Edward's face contorted in a bafflement as he restrained my hand.
男の部屋に入ってもいい?
It's quite alright, sir. I've been in here multiple times while cleaning. Have I been... It's labyrinth-like? Then why did it say labyrinth?
そうなんだ。
His Spider-Man answered. Edward's discomfort was palatable. Well, you got like magazines in your room? He sought to hide his discomfiture by burying his head in his hands, having sensed my
入っ
concern.
てもいいよ。
Though his shyness was unnecessary, the tips of his ears betrayed a blush their color vibrated against the paleness of his skin. Bro's a vampire. Telling you. If you'll pardon my intrusion. What's up with, like, lords being, like, vampires and demons and stuff? Like, what's up with that? I pushed the door. Okay. A pleasant surprise awaited. Don't answer my question. Edward's room was meticulously tidy, a testament to the efforts to maintain order despite their lack of interest in the actual owner of this room. You got a nice little couch right there. I sauntered over to the wardrobe and casually selected a change of clothes. Okay. This girl has no sense of anything. She randomly just went in this dude's room and just immediately just went over to his closet and stole clothes to wear. She's all, oh, you're my boss, you're my boss, you're my lord, blah blah, and is just taking what she wants. Okay, girl. Edward, who had been stationed by the closed door, dashed towards me with surprising agility.
クララ、僕のクローゼットをなぜ？
It's for you to change into. Oh, it's for him. Never mind. Here's your nightshirt.
ああ、うん。ありがとう。
Would you like assistance in changing into your nightshirt? Huh? His this fluttered rapidly before whitening and spread. I would be. What do you mean, try to see me naked? The flush on his cheeks extended to the tip of his nose, a lingering effect of the cold, perhaps. This girl is so stupid.
いや、本当に大丈夫だよ。一人でもちゃんと着れるよ。
Alright, back at it. I nodded respectfully, observing as Edward hastily snatched his nightshirt and shuffled away. And then he shuffled away, shuffle. He isn't a lady, I suppose, that I said to respect Edward's autonomous. Once he changed, Edward informed me I was free to leave if I desired. However, I remained adamant. A gnawing anxiety stirred within me as Edward, now laying in his bed, cast repeated glances towards the window. The mausoleum his mother's final resting place seemed to exert an undeniable pull on him. Well, yeah, his mom's in there. I tend to remain here till you fall asleep, so there's no point in persisting. With directness, I cut the silence, and Edward responded with a grim nod. Go to sleep, boy. I'm gonna get the shoe.
クララ、僕は子供ではない。
And when have I ever treated you as such?
今がそうじゃない？
Okay, you got attitude. You want me to get the shoe? You're mistaken. Do you truly wish for a demonstration of what treating someone like a child is like? Because I hit you with the shoe. I took a seat at the edge of the bed and began to sing him lullaby, mimicking the soothing melody my mother had sung to me as a child. Edward paused, his brow furrowed in perplexity. What troubles you?
この歌、どこかで聞いたことがあると思う。
It's a popular lullaby. My mother used to sing it for me when I was troubled. Wait, do you guys know that meme? It's
ど
like,
んな方か聞いてもいい？
your baby can't sleep. Here, I'll help. And then it's like, go to sleep and good night. And it's like a really bad version of the song. Have you seen that on TikTok trend? Go to sleep and good night. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Has anyone seen that? I'm not crazy. I saw so many versions of that being the Squid Game. Yes, yes, yes. That's why I first saw it too. Squid Game mention. As long as you don't find it trivial, of course. My tales for the most important. My mother's despite my inability to fathom what he found so captivating about my mundane narratives, Edward steadfastly urged me to continue. My grumpy visage, drained of further stories, stared back at him. Where do you find stories of my humiliation so amusing? Edward's hand started out in a flurry of motion, a desperate attempt to undo the misunderstanding.
面白いんじゃなくて、不思議で、ウバは僕を知らなかったから。
I dare say you never caused her trouble.
いや、そんなにいい子じゃなかったのに。
I'll call you a good boy. Well, judging by the peaceful way you lie in your bed, I'd say you are. With a playful glint in my eye, I reached out to poke his cheek, but he swiftly intercepted my hand.
本当にそう見えるの？
Perhaps. Pulled by sudden force, I found myself struggling against the bedsheets. Huh? The momentum threw me on top of him as if I were to eat him alive. Huh? His eyes widened in surprise, clearly not anticipating this unexpected turn of events. I didn't do this. Attempting to quell the frantic pounding in my heart, I parted my lips to utter a word. A shared reflex propelled us both upright, our eyes drawn to the imposing door as if by an invisible force. A sudden recollection of the handbook sparked in my mind, prompting to hesitantly address him. My lord, should we remain silent? Edward offered no response to my query. His face drained of color as if he had committed some horrendous act.
お母さんだ。
I beg your finest pardon.
お母さんが僕を呼んでいる。
His words sparked confusion within me. Oh, is his mom the ghost? What kind of mother would pound at her son's door like that? And Grimace contorted his face at the sound of the renewed bubbling at the door.
お墓参りに行くたびに、君
I'm
のことを
getting
たくさん考
by
えて
his
いるんだ。
mom, yeah. The confusion in his eyes gradually faded, replaced by an
僕
untraversable.
が悪いことをしたんだ。
You can't truly believe that, can you? A familiar face surfaced from my mind. The face of the one who taught me the rules. Was it Miss Quayler? Did Miss Quayler claim that was your mother? My gaze locked into his hand as he grasped the necklace tightly around his neck. The red gem, which had been glistening in the moonlight, vanished into the shadow's case by his hand. A maelstrom of rage churned within me, threatening to erupt like a volcano. Never mind, I'll just prove to you it's not her. As if were by the spirit of the lady of the house, I could not stand by idly and witness her torment her own son. With steely resolves, I rose to my feet, only to abruptly pulled back down by the restraining force around my wrist. Edward had not released his hold of my hand, his grip unwavering.
やめてくれ。
But, my lord...
僕は大丈夫。ただ、もう寝たい。
Unable to resist, I yielded and settled back down on the edge of his bed. Edward's eyes fluttered shut, the blue moon painting his face in a ghostly light. Keeping an eye on the door, I sang a sleepy lullaby, my voice a gentle balm to his troubled spirit. As the last note faded into the quiet night, sleep descended upon him, offering a temporary haven from the chilling echoes of the door. So why would his mom haunt the place? The relentless pounding, unlike what Edward had said before, still haunted his sleep. Drawing my hand from his grasp, I slowly rose to my feet, each step a weighty echo in the stillness of the night. As I neared the door, its darkness seemed to beckon me closer. With a creak, the door yielded, letting in a flood of inky blackness. The corridors of the house, suddenly barren in the daylight, now appeared as hollow and desolate as a forgotten crypt. The silence was absolute, broken only by the frantic rhythm of my heart. This was not the comforting refuge described in the pages of the handbook. It was a place of secrets and shadows, a place where hope struggled to survive. Then why? Why did Edward stop me from opening the door? Perhaps within the darkness he conjured an image of his mother, a vision born of yearning and guilt. It was a fragile illusion, a spiderweb sprung in the dead of night, ready to be shattered at the first touch of truth. The longer he held onto that illusion, the deeper he sank into the abyss of self-deprivation, leaving me to wonder if he could ever find the courage to confront the truth that awaited him outside the door. With a deep sigh, laden with exhaustion and a sense of foreboding, escaped my lips. Sleep, yet again, would be an elusive visitor tonight, I thought to myself, closing the door behind me. Chapter 4. Edward turned, his attention drawn to my figure standing before the canvas. The artwork was a vibrant tapestry of light and color.
どう？
My word, it's as if Lady Isabella brought every ocean itself into this room. I allowed my eyes to leisurely explore its surface, absorbing the intricate details of the ocean scene. The golden sand, painted with remarkable realism, seemed to warm my feet beneath their imaginary touch, while the sunlight danced on the rippling waves, creating an illusion of movement and depth. She certainly has a gift for painting, doesn't she?
結婚前に名のある巨匠のもとで修学されたそうだ。
No way. You mean back when she was a young lady?
うん。お父さんと結婚するまでは。
Edward turned me, his eyes raising to meet the captivating artwork. The warmth and shining within spoke volumes for his love of the piece, a love that resonated deeply within my soul.
母は故郷が恋しくなるたびに海を見るためにこの絵を描いたそうだ。いい感じでしょ？
Oh, I agree. It's beautiful. Oh, I wouldn't disagree. It's truly breathtaking. For sure. Even I, who had previously never considered such a thing, found myself yearning to visit the idealistic scene captured on the canvas. I was about to say ID's a Lizzie eye from fucking Honkai Star Rail, bro. In my mind's eye, I saw Edward seated before me, gazing out at the vast expanse of the ocean, his thoughts lost in unbidden, yet with the unwavering conviction, the words trembled from my lips. I'm certain you'll be able to see the real sea one day. Aaron Yeager all
そんな
moment.
ことができるだろうか。
I do, yeah. Of course, though it might take a little time and effort. Once Robert's illness was under control, Edward would be able to leave the manor and pursue his deepest aspirations.
そうだろうね。
Edward's response is a silent affirmation, a hint of a smile playing at his lips. I pushed open the heavy door to the servants' hall. My hand instinctively reached for my rumbling stomach. A wave of curious faces turned to me, their expressions a mixture of anticipation and amusement. It was as though they had been eagerly awaiting my arrival, their eyes filled with unspoken questions. The sudden focus was disconcerting, and I found myself thinking rapidly, a flush of embarrassment creeping across my face. Why are you all looking at me like curious cats? I just heard Edward hold my hand, concern etched upon her features. I heard you volunteered to clean Lord Edward's chamber? The thoughts drifted to whose earlier expression had been puzzled, mixed with the delight of apprehension. Now her silence made perfect sense. She must have divulged the news of my plan to the others. Indeed I did. Those toilets were giving me no end of trouble, and I thought a change of scenery would be pleasant. Not into the difficulty, but are you certain you are comfortable taking on such a task? Yeah, he's a chill dude. Why wouldn't I be? Well, there are thousands of reasons. Despite my assurance that all is well, Alice's aggression or whatever, as I stood by their eyes were filled with suspicion and speculation about me and Edward. We're banging, guys, sorry. Think of it, you spent a lot of time with his lordship lately. I have, yeah. What do you know it? There are whispers that you and his lordship are developing quite the bond. No, that's simply not true. We have merely stuck up a friendly acquaintance, nothing more. Oh no, we're banging. Trust. Someone so unconcerned. Your ears seem to be rather fetching shade of red. And your nose shares the same color. As the second ticked by, the relentless chatter grew progressively louder, accumulating in a particularly harsh comment. Feeling overwhelmed by the what? I gotta take a sip of water. I got it. Hold on. Bruh. Why are they so concerned about me? Like, I want to be with him. I'ma do it, bruh. Sorry, my nose is itching, so I've been itching my nose. Let me pause a minute just to take a quick break from reading for a second. How's everyone doing in the chat? Everyone doing well? Everyone enjoying the game so far? How's everyone doing? Everyone doing great? Having a great Thursday today? It's chill? I'm glad. Cause I can't really look at chat while I'm reading. Burger King, foot lettuce, yeah. I talked about it a little bit earlier about how I'm still watching the summer that Hikaru died. Thursday, ass day, no, it's Wednesday. Wednesday's ass day. You guys need to remember this. I know I don't remind you guys anymore, but it is. But I'm on episode 4 now of the summer that Hikaru died. I talked about earlier during stream, but there's a summer festival that's going on right now, and there's like a shrine that they can go to like go get ice cream. It's Wednesday summer in the world. To go get shaved ice and like other stuff. And so, as Hikaru's a demon, he took over dead Hikaru's body. He's a demon now. We've discussed that. So, Yoshiki and his sister, they go through the entrance of the shrine, and then Hikaru tries to go through the shrine, but obviously, because he's a demon, he can't go in because someone had set up a barrier, and he goes to like move his hand to like say something, I guess, and he touched it, and then he looks down at his hand and it burned through his thing to show his like what's underneath his skin, which is like the demon stuff, and he was like, I'll see you guys later. I gotta run to the bathroom. Just bring me back some shaved ice. And Yoshiki was like, alright, like, don't really worry about it. So then Takano, the guy who was hired to like figure out like what's going on, he goes, someone messed with the barrier, and he took his hamster, because this hamster is a part of this for some reason. And he's like, the demon is here with us, like he's here. Bro needs better sunscreen, yeah. And then Yoshiki like brings the shaved ice or whatever, and then they like sit down at like the river, and they're like talking about the ice cream or whatever. And so then he was like, do you feel the same way? And Yoshiki was like, about what? And he was like, you know, I look like Hikaru, but you know, do I still feel like Hikaru, like the real one? And Yoshiki paused for a minute, and he was like, no. And that made the demon happy, because he, you know, he's trying to be his own person, and he likes Yoshiki, and he's like, oh, cool, that's great. And he's like, why do you ask? He's like, oh, no reason, I just want you to like me anyway. But then it was like commercial break, so I paused there because I was watching it for lunch today, so I'm gonna probably finish that episode tonight. But things are going great. And also, the marinated chicken was real. They literally took a picture of the marinated chicken that they had, and they put it in the show. I don't know why they would eat it. That's raw chicken. But they ate it, and they said it was gross. Obviously, it's gross. But, you know, hey, at least we know that the demon insides of a demon feel like marinated raw chicken. In Yoshiki's words. No shit, sure. I don't know why they decided to eat it. I don't know. But then I found out that syrup that goes on shaved ice is the same flavor, but we think it tastes different because of the color. It's kind of like Skittles. Like, they're just different flavors. They're not... It's not no M&Ms or something. Like, some people say that some M&Ms taste different, but they're all the same. I thought shaved ice stuff was different flavors. Or am I crazy? Are they lying to me? Which one is it? Which one is it? Am I insane or are they lying to me? Either way, I'm crazy. Come again? In the show, Yoshiki was like, you know that the syrup they use for shaved ice, it's all the same flavor. We just think it tastes different because of the colors. Is that true? Because I swear you can get like pineapple shaved ice syrup and stuff. Like, there's actual flavors that you can get. So I don't know how true that is, but I could be wrong. Some BS? Maybe Yoshiki's like messing with them or something. Cause like there's like pineapple that you can get and like stuff like that. But I do think that I don't know. Well, I don't think he's wrong because I'm not gonna taste cherry and then pineapple if you change the color. No, so I think what he's saying is like I don't know if everyone had this at like schools or whatever, but when I was in elementary school or primary school, whichever you call it, we had this thing where once a year we'd be outside the whole day having fun, and then we would have snow cones. And they would tell you like, oh, what color do you want? And you tell them what color you want, and you could get like rainbow, you could get multiple colors, 3 colors, 1 color, whatever. I think that those syrups... well, actually, I think they had a flavor. But in the end, they all just kind of taste like ice. So maybe you should keep messing with them or something, I don't know, but... I think some do, but I also think that you can just get like generic syrup that just changes the color of it too. I think you can get both. Because when I was a kid, I never really tasted a flavor. I just liked the color. I was like, I want a blue one. And they're like, here you go. And they were like, I think they said it was like blue raspberry, and then you could get grape and stuff like that, but I never really tasted what it was supposed to taste like. I just tasted the ice. So, I think both is correct, but crazy stuff. Oh, and then at the part where Hikaru tried to like put all of his insides into Yoshiki at one point, he like grabbed his arm really hard, and now he has like a bruise, but it's like a mark of his hand that's just on him permanently now. We're so strong that he embedded that into his arm. So he just has a hand mark on his arm. No one's asked him about it. If my son came home and I saw them, I'd be like, what the fuck happened to you? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Like, battle scars? Basically. He got a whole bruise embedded into him by the guy that he likes. Crazy. And then he had the audacity to forgive him after Hikaru tried to put his entire demon insides into him and kill him. But he forgave Hikaru because he was crying. And he was like, I'm so sorry. I don't want to kill you. I like you too much. I can't do that to you. Please don't hate me. Please don't be mad at me. And he left. And he didn't go to school the next day. And then his friends were like, oh, where's Hikaru? Where's Hikaru? And Yoshiki was like, oh, I don't know. He didn't come to school today. And they're like, you need to make up with him. He's just a kid. And then this made us so delusional. Yoshiki convinced himself. He was like, if there's just some things he's not, you know, knowledgeable about, I can just teach him. So he's like, he's the embodiment of no, I can fix him. He's gonna change a demon to be a normal dude. And to like not kill anybody, learn how to like not make his demon insides ooze out of him whenever. He's like, I can fix him. He's not coming back. Silent in the train. Huh? But Yoshiki is the embodiment of I can fix him. I can change him, guys. I'll make the demon fine. Cause the demon himself says that he loves Yoshiki basically, and he's like he'll never do anything to hurt him, which he kinda did. But, you know, he's still new to this whole human thing, so we're gonna forgive him for that. I feel like Hikaru could do anything, and then Yoshiki would just be like, it's okay. I forgive you. Let's go hang out at my place. This poor guy. After, like, everything, like, even when the old lady was trying to tell him, like, oh, that thing is probably connected with the reason why that old lady died. And he was gonna go through with the plan to, like, maybe try to get rid of it, but as soon as he saw Hikaru crying, he was like, alright, wrap it up. I can't do that to him. I can't do that. That's my friend. Well, that's more than his friend. They were very close friends in the anime. And he was just like, yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that to him. And then bro's so delusional. He goes to Hikaru's place, and he's like, Hikaru, are you here? Are you here? And Hikaru's mom is like, oh, he's in his room. And he goes in his room, and he sees that he's like under his blanket, and Yoshiki's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say those mean things to you. Like, you know, I'm not mad at you, I'm sorry. And then Hikaru's like, you shouldn't be the one who's sorry. I'm the one who did that to you. You're scared of me. And he's like, no, I'm not scared of you, I'm not mad at you. And he reaches his hand out, and then like Hikaru pokes his hand out, and then Yoshiki flinches, and Hikaru's still crying. He's like, see, you are scared of me. And he's like, no, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared. I'm not mad at you either. You know, let's just move past that. We're gonna change for the better. And he was like, please, you can't leave me. I never want you to leave me. I don't care who you hang out with. I don't care who you talk to. I just need you to be in my life with me. Please don't ever leave me. And Shiki was like, I'll never leave you as long as you don't leave me. Like, whoa, okay. Gay? Like, let's forget the fact that he almost tried to kill you, and then the fact that he killed an old lady, possibly. Yoshiki still hasn't figured that part out yet. But, okay. I'm telling you, this guy is so delusional. Delulu is the Salulu, guys. Remember that. Listen, if Yoshiki somehow manages to, like, fix this demon from, like, killing people or whatever, just know that you can fix anybody. You can fix anyone if you try hard enough. Always has been, yeah. I guess we should go back to the game now. Back to me reading. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about now. Oh, and also, sorry, we're having a little break before I go back into reading. Is that Gojo? Not even Flux Staples Fix. Okay. We didn't need that. Thanks, bro. Did I talk about what happened in Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint? But the unknown god, the otherworthy god, I don't know if I did. But basically, the main character, the reader, which is the main character, what I was watching and just thought you were saying was from the game. No, I was talking about the summer that Hikaru died. It's an anime. But now we're going to talk about Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. So, the reader's mom, like, trapped him in a prison, and he was like, oh no, I'm gonna get out of this prison, man. So he summoned a constellation, but this certain constellation was kind of like him, where it was a human, and then he ascended to a constellation, and then it became, like, even stronger than that, to the point where they had to exile him from Earth and send him somewhere else, because he was gonna reach the end of all scenarios, and that's the thing that they don't want to happen. And so the same thing's gonna happen with the reader, Kim. Oh. Sorry. I'm sorry, that was my keyboard. It fell. I'm sorry, guys. I'm messing with my keyboard, so it fell. But anyway, sorry about that. That was kind of loud. No, it's okay, Cord. Go back to sleep. Oh no, it's awoken. God dang it! It was an accident. I have betrayed my corgi. Never mind. She gonna go sleep somewhere else now. It's fine. I'm like, I'm sorry. I be bitch slapping people for real. But the people, the little, whatever they're called, the little like white furry guys that I showed you, the not the one that looks like an off-brand Fanta Labubu, but the little like furry yeti thing. They make the scenarios to entertain the constellations and like, you know, for people to watch or whatever. They don't want anyone to reach the end of scenarios because that's like the end of like their whole program. That's the end of their whole thing. So anytime anywhere gets the inkling of the power level to actually do that, they try to kill them. So that's what's happening to Kim, which is that they put a fate on him saying that he's gonna die in the next scenario for real. So he'll not go to the next scenario, but he was like, fuck y'all, I'm going. So he calls upon the other constellation, I forget his name. But if you think of like Dark Cacao Cookie from Cookie Run Kingdom, basically kind of like that. He's like a really big sword. He's like a buff burly man, beard. He has like the dark hair with the white strip, and it literally Dark Cacao Cookie. He's like a general and whatever. And so he summons him to get out of the thing, and then he finds out that his mom has summoned an outer worldly god to stop him from going to the next scenario. So he was like, oh no. So he uses the power of the dark cacao. We're gonna call him Dark Cacao Cookie. To like try to defeat the demon because he's like one of the strongest constellations ever because he has three striked like sword techniques, so he's like trying to kill her or whatever. So the reader ends up losing his legs and he's like, I have to get inside of that demon. But if you get inside the god, he'll keep sucking the stories out of you, and the stories is basically what gives you power. An omniscient reader's viewpoint, the more stories you have, the more powerful you are. And it sucks the stories out and uses it for its own power. So he was like, I need to go in there because he has a plan or something. Hasn't been revealed yet. I haven't read that far. And so the Hyonk guy, he comes up and he's like, I got you, baby girl. Don't worry. And he picks him up and he's like, You better come back, aight? This better not be the last time I see you because I'm not holding another funeral for you because you just came back like a week ago. And he was like, don't worry, I'll come back. He was like, okay, I'll trust you. And he yeets him in there. And then Dark Cacao Cookie was like, I'm sorry, I can't go in there with you. You're on your own in this one. And then he just goes in there. And then the thing closes. And then that's the end of the chapter. And I haven't read from there yet. I'm going to read it tonight. We're probably after stream. But that's what's happening right now. But he literally looks like Dark Cacao Cookie. Like genuinely when I saw him, I was like, hello? Who came first, Dark Cacao Cookie or this guy? But yeah, that's what's happening at Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint so far. Fire! Absolutely fire, mate! My Corgo is drugged. She got drugged this morning because it was thundering. So she's eeping right now. So congratulations to me. But yeah, that's any questions, comments, concerns that you people might have. What isn't she drugged? Well, if you could tell it to stop raining, then she wouldn't be. Anyway. But I just want to talk about that briefly as like a little break before I go back into reading this. Because I don't know how many chapters are in this. So, I don't know how much more we have left of this. We might have to do 2 streams of this, actually. Which is fine. I like this. It's not too crazy or anything. It's very interesting. We still have basically no idea what's going on. But we do know that something sus is happening between Olivia, Edward, and like his whole like dead mother situation and Robert. So, here we go, guys. Feeling overwhelmed by the cacophony, we do know something is going on, but we don't know what. Yeah. I instinctively raised my hand to cover my ears and nose, seeking a moment of reprise from the insistent barrage of words. A wave of laughter erupted around me, echoing within the confinements of the hall. Witnessing my distress, Thomas shook his head, his expression conveying a sense of helplessness. Clara, whatever feelings you have for Lord Edward, I strongly advise you to reconsider. I assure you I have no such feelings. I simply don't believe he is a horrible person as some would have us believe. Those instructions to keep your distance were not issued without good reason. Yes, the handbook. Having personally experienced the repercussions of unchecked gossip and misplaced judgment, I know how much to say on the matter. The events to this day have provided me with a wealth of knowledge I was determined to share. Has it ever occurred to anyone that perhaps those instructions might be misleading? An oppressive silence descended upon the hall as I finished speaking. Every face turned toward me, etched with disapproval and contempt. Alice, who had been observing with arms crossed, finally broke the stillness with a cutting retort delivered in a frigid tone. Just because you arrived later than us does not mean you were privy to all the details, Clara. Enlighten me. What is it that I do not know? Our eyes met for a brief moment before Alice hastily averted her gaze, quickly followed by Thomas and Bruce. Never mind. I have work to do. Nevertheless, Clara, give it some serious thought. Feeling the absurdity of the situation knotting in my gut, I offered a shrug of nonchalance. I turned my back to them and refused to grant their anonymity even a flicker of my attention. Through their disapproval echoed in the form of audible tunts. I remained reluctant. Okay. I was gathering my cleaning supplies and heading outside when I spotted Edward seated at a distance. Yo, what's up, girl? It had been less than half an hour since we had left for lunch. Surprised by his unexpected presence, I hurried over. Lord Edward! Edward's shoulders stiffened and he hurriedly wiped his mouth.
早かったね。
What brings you here without taking your lunch first?
ただ、もどかしくて。
Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a small packet resting beside him. It appeared meager for a meal, and a concerned nod at me. I opened my mouth to speak, but before I could utter a word, something was thrust into my mouth. Instinctively, I took a bite, and a biscuit crumbled against my tongue, releasing a symphony of flavors. Oh, you mean cookies? The exquisite butter and bittersweet chocolate melted together, creating a taste sensation unlike I had ever experienced. It was heavenly.
君のことを思い出して。
Oh, thanks, fam. He watched me intently for a moment, then shoved the entire pouch into my hand with a conspiratorial grin. It was clear he was bribing me with a delicious treat to ensure my cooperation. They are delicious. More sweet biscuits,
多めに
man.
持っ
That
てき
cool.
たからたくさん食べて。
I joined him on the steps, and we settled into a companionable silence as I arranged the remaining treats. The gentle breeze carried the sense of snacks, making it taste even more divine. Halfway through, we caved a cup of tea to settle the stomach. After took a sip, he inquired about my schedule for the remainder of the day. Oh, craved, that's what that word was. Then I pondered the task ahead and then consistently list them. As I finished clearing the mausoleum, not much really other than, oh, it's also the day I visit the whatever that word is. Olivia provided me with the details earlier. instructed me to report to the main gate after completing my duties, but the coachman would await to escort me into town. Thank you for the pause for checking the hydrate.
君、一人で行くの？
Well, you didn't want to come with me, as you already know. This visit's supposed to be discreet. Edward seemed hesitant about sending me off alone. Well, come with me then, boy. However, only a handful aware of Lord Robert's precarious state reverting the upon hearing my explanation, Edward turned towards the front gate, his expression grave. Come with me.
クララ、僕が見送ってもいいかな？
Yeah, let's go. What now? He offered a brisk nod without adding an explanation. Let's go, boy. Still unsure of the situation, I leaned close to his ear and whispered my question. Are you pregnant? Something troubling you? That's quite the question I had.
いや、ただ、もう正門くらいは大丈夫だと思って。
Despite my worried expression, he only offered a cryptic smile. Let's go. Is he though? Nailed it whole. He might be. While I didn't believe he would face any repercussions for accompanying me to the gate, I felt uneasy for a reason I could not explain. The baby! Think about the baby! With Edward's assistance, I completed the cleaning task with ease, returned the tools, and exited the building. Edward, who had been waiting for me, repeated his earlier question.
本当に一人で行っても大丈夫？
I stopped abruptly and meeting his gaze directly. If you are concerned, you are more than welcome to join me.
僕もそうしたいんだけど。
Oh my gosh. But his eyes darted away, confirming my suspicions. There it is again, the hidden truth. I turned away, initially feigning annoyance. It's not as if I'm going there because I particularly want to be there in the first place.
ごめんね。クララ、怒ってるの？
No, of course not. I'm not upset. In fact, I'm quite the opposite. I feel perfectly content. We set off towards the gate, bickering playfully. Oh, I thought she genuinely was upset, but never mind. The carriage stood opposite the gate, but the coachman was nowhere to be seen. It appeared he had left for a brief errand. I unlatched the door and slid in. The condition of this place has changed quite dramatically. The interior was spotless, odor-free, in a stark contrast to its previous state. It was clean, it was clean enough for even Edward to find it acceptable. Are you absolutely certain you wouldn't prefer to remain outside?
乗ってみるよ。
As I was about to step out, Edward's hand shot out, stopping me in my tracks. A disquieting sense of unease washed over me as I recognized the unsettling shift in his demeanor. You're quite alright, aren't you? He casually lowered his foot from the curbstone. His movement suggested a response to my unanswered question. I held my breath, watching him approach with a mixture of curiosity and nervousness. Has he never left the house? Yes, sir, Robo. An unseen hand seemed to grip my heart, squeezing it with an icy fear, its origin a shrouded mystery. His initial move was one of caution and exploration, but he quickly transitioned to a confident stride as if he had overcome his hesitation. With each step he took, a strange joy began to bloom on his face, only to be extinguished just as quickly. Edward abruptly halted and frowned, as if sensing something amiss. They got a sniper! Crimson streak trickled from his parting lips, staining his collar. Oh, he's bleeding! Edward! Holy shit, bro's dying. Panic surged through me as I leaped down from the carriage and cradling his collapsing body. Oh no! Edward looked up, his face pale and drawn. A pained groan escaped his lips. Ugh. Why? What is happening to you? My vision tunneled, filled with only him and the horror of the situation. When you're dying, they'll rip him. Edward, coughing blood, spoke in a voice filled with despair.
やはり無
What? Oh, why?
ごめんね。
Mix the blood with
君
game. I
に
hardly
は
knew.
心配ばかりかけているね。
Maybe he can't leave the manor for some reason or he'll die. Closes his eyes, accepting the inevitable
やっ
reality.
ぱり一生
Pale as death, Edward appeared to be on the brink of succumbing. No! My body quaked with fear and regret. Had I known this would transpire, I would never have urged him on. Please, please, somebody help! Help Lord Edward, please! A scream tore from my throat as I called for help, pulling Edward into my arms. It was the only thing I could do. As consciousness flickered back, I found Olivia's stern visage looming over me, her gaze devoid of warmth, drained the color from my skin. Which inspired Clara. Clara, I haven't the finest notion. Suddenly, we exited the gate. Lord Edward. Rise, Edward, rise. Calling dibs on his mention if he dies. Clara, compose yourself. There's blood, ma'am, on his lordship's lips. Clara! I stirred, muttered incoherently, and met her unwavering stare. Her silence was answer enough, and I waited, breath hitched for her next words. I shall handle his affairs, Clara. You tend to your own. Mine? Memory's exclusive fragments rolled on my mind, and frantic search for clarity yield not but a gnawing worry for Edward. You refer to the trip into town? Precisely. Is there an issue with that? Yeah, she died. The fuck you want me to leave for? No. What do you mean, no, ma'am? Olivia's disapproval, evident in the sharp click of her tongue, spurred me into action. There, let me give you a piece of advice. Focus on your own task and leave the business of others to them. Without word, I stepped inside the room. The weight of the situation pressed down upon me. Leaning against the cold stone wall, I glanced at my maid uniform, its pristine white marred by a crimson stain. Basically, this game, we work as a maid here, weird stuff happens in this manor. It served as a stark reminder of the events that had transpired. Oh, I'm in town now. The bustling town square is a stark contrast to the manor's quietude, buzzed with activity. Excitement had been coursing through my veins at the prospect of this errand. And how you doing today, so? Until this afternoon. Yeah, a shadow of concern lingered, casting a pall over the vibrant scene. Edward's well-being weighed heavily on my mind, painting the world in shades of worry. With every sigh, I looked out vacantly through the quarter light, the sympathetic gaze of the coachman reflecting my internal turmoil. I'm sure he'll be alright. Very well. Well, since you're here in town, why not lift your spirits a bit? Though the urge to dismiss his concern was strong, decorum held me back. A court nod and a strange smile were all I could manage. With a Latin heart, I grasped the carriage door and sipped. I'm having a stroke. My gaze unseen. I'm having a stroke. Oh my god, hold on. I grabbed the carriage door and stepped out onto the bustling cobblestones. My gaze, unseeing and heavy, scanned the rows of shops, searching for the address hidden amongst their colorful facades. My destination, nestled amongst the numerous shops, lined the boulevard, awaited. Maybe she's behind you. She's reading a different story at this point. Guys, sometimes when you're reading something, you gotta make up your own story, and it is what it is. Bro, when I'm reading out loud, I never really, like, catch on to mistakes because I know that I'm bad at reading out loud, so I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. However, when I'm reading something and I notice that it has a mistake, I read it like 4 times and then I have to read it out loud twice and then I'm like, bro, they misspelled this. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And you know, it just happens sometimes, like some things slip through the cracks of like when people are like editing stuff and like translating and everything, and I'm just like, that sentence ain't supposed to be like that, bro. That don't make no sense. But then like I'll go in the comments and then no one says anything. And I'm like, bro, what you people not seeing this? Like, I can see mistakes, but then when I read out loud, it's just all mistakes because I can't read. I don't know what any of this has to do with what just happened, because I literally just had a stroke, but did I read this? I did. What I'm trying to say is that I try, but hey, I'm not perfect either. Have you seen Bert? Exactly. Bert's dead, that's why you haven't seen him. The vast expanse of the countryside coupled with the oh god damn it, of medical professionals meant relying on the family's doctor's wisdom for any ailment. The fuck is Bert? Ah! Exactly, Bert's not. He's dead. That's how you don't know who Bert is. Bert Sampson? Don't ever bring that creature's name in here. Bert is not Bert Sampson. He's different. I'm slowly losing my mind like I did yesterday, when I kept doing that boss fight over and over again, which my dad had the audacity to tell me, oh, it's not that hard of a boss fight. Okay, buddy. I'ma get you. Did I read this? I did. I watched the... I give up. I give up. I don't know. Orthopateory? Carefully, as he read Olivia's letter. It's okay, breathe. No! Whenever there's hard words on screen, I don't get hard. I get soft. I can't. Words are hard. That's that anime name. I don't remember how to say it. His brows furrowing concentration, he then began to measure and mix various ingredients, his movements precise in practice. As I waited, anticipation building with each passing moment, something unexpected appeared before me. Before I could grasp the situation, the medicine stood complete. The silence stretched thick as the whatever hushed words hung in the air, a smile riddled, waiting to be solved. A little warning next time, eh? Making things smoother. Certainly? Woo! Thank you for the bark. The whispered word piqued my curiosity, but I responded. Of course, a satisfied smile played on his lips as he whistled away to reclaiming his seat. I slipped the medicines and instructions to my bag with a hurried movement and stole a quick glance at it before I exited the shop. Curiosity kills Clara, they warn you. Here I am, again. The moment I stepped out of the shop, I pulled the paper from the bag and eagerly scanned the contents. My eyes devoured the contents, a concise recipe, this precise dosage, a list of cautions, and a detailed list of forbidden ingredients. Just one element stood out. The repeated associations fulfilled Olivia's every request. See, nothing in particular. I rose to the carriage parked in the alleyway behind the shop, my hand reaching for the door handle. A burning desire to return home and tend to Edward consumed me. That is my husband. I'm back. So soon? There's nothing out of the ordinary. Well, I've got something rather special for us. And what might that be? Coachman scratched his head, pointing towards a nearby gate. Large crowd gathered there. An unturned carriage lay by the process of being whatever. His unexpected obstacle added to more frustration. But as I mentioned before, it's high time we had a change of scenery. Couldn't we simply remain in the carriage and take a well-deserved rest? Another question, how else can I enjoy a proper drink then? Aye, bro. Heavens above! Regardless of the throbbing headache that pulsed in my temples, the coachman continued his unfiltered pronouncements. The coachman's words had feared we would be forced to seek refuge in a nearby tavern until the wood was cleared. I resigned myself to the temporary delay and watched as the coachman led the horses towards the tavern. The sudden enforced break allowed for a moment of whatever. Roughly, an idea struck me. Should I get Edward something? Now, Edward desired the freedom himself. It was I who inadvertently caused him the but what he like? My gaze fell upon Viper post. Y'all, is this it for me? Cordio, I love you. Lay back down. I tickle your feet. I tickle the corgi feet. Do we go back into the shop and get a medicine? Do we go to the bookstore or do we go to the textile store? Yeah, I'm losing it. Guys, have you guys seen Dunhung's new form? Bro's buff and tall as freak, bruh. No cap. Yeah? Dude. I saw it. People are making art of it now or whatever because it's coming out next month. They legit made him buffer and taller. Bro. That's the most gootable version of Dunhung ever. I'm not even gonna cap. And it's a real tail. He has a real dragon tail. It's not the fake one that he has when he's in Biter or Luminate, whatever. It's a real one. It's a real Dora tail. And real horns. Bro. This is why I love Dunhung. I've loved him since day one, my bruh. My bros. 20 now? It's a big day for it is. It is. Sauce. Yeah, sauce isn't one of them. You have been kicked out of the Dragon's Lovers Club. I'm sorry. I'm the only what? Yeah, you're kicked out. I'm the only one that's allowed in it. Sorry. Sorry. You're kicked. I like how like sauce only comes to like the streams on Thursday and Friday, and then somehow they always be getting dissed. This is abusing power. I was here first. I think he's wrongly with me. This is BS. He's not even a real dragon. I'll say it. He has the most less dragon features out of any dragon dude. I'm not even gonna cap. Yes, I know. He like we know that he's a dragon because of Morax, but like he doesn't really have anything really about him that shows that he's a dragon. Like he doesn't have horns. He don't got a tail. He ain't got nothing. He's gonna lay eggs before the dragons. I want him to have like some form Don't answer that. I do. He got dragon skills on his clothes? That doesn't count though. Like actual like dragon features. Like it do? No it don't. Like Nervylette has like horns. The new version of Dunhung has horns and a tail. What the Zhongli have? He ain't got shit. Not like not even in his kit either. That shows that he got dragon. It don't count. It don't count. A big dragon ass. He got spirit. Okay, he has the butt for sure. All dragons have good butts for whatever reason. But like Zhongli's like the most bottom tier dragon, no cap. So is he part of the dragon club? As Morax? Like if he's in his actual dragon form, yes. But if he's just Zhongli, then no. I put 100 pair of socks. Hey, let's go. On bottom. Alright. So you can take Zhongli out of the club. He's not a part of the club. The only like real dragon min that I'll accept is Nervylette, the new version of Dunhung, and then oh, I don't know. What's another dragon guy? Oh, well he's not a dude, but he's a kid. Durian, that one dragon that Albedo made, it has wings and a tail and horns. That's a dragon. Give me some. I can barely find matching pairs. The socks are coming. The socks are coming. Tell the British that the socks are coming. But yes, yeah, Sauce is kicked out of the club. It shows Zhongli. They're not part of the dragon club anymore. Get the fuck out of here. And then my 100 pairs of the same looking like socks. Zhongli power creep. Yeah. They should really like give him a new design, I'm not gonna lie. Everyone loves Zhongli and almost everybody owns Zhongli too, so they should give him a skin. I'm still taken. They should really like give skins to characters that people see a lot of. Like they keep oh yeah, we said all big money. Yeah, like they need to do skins for like Zhongli, Freyna, Shilonen, like support characters and like DPSs that a lot of people use instead of just like random characters. Like Bennett, that was a good choice. Yelan, I mean Yelan's was cool, but I'm not buying it. They're gonna start buffing the Archons. The earlier ones are kinda in the mud right now. Yeah. They really are. They just need to like buff old characters. They need to like fix their models. Maybe get more skins and stuff like that. They're gonna be great. They have a lot to improve upon. I think they can do it. Make more dragons. Hashtag make Ito. Yes, please. Spread the word. Ito deserves his justice. They might be fixing some models. Yay! Also, I would like to say, I know a lot of people are probably thinking that I'm gonna try to get the new guy that's coming out in Not Cry. I'm skipping him, bruh. I'm tired of electric pole arms. I'm not gonna lie. Skipping him. I'm skipping the Dendro lady. I just want Shilonen. Bro. Oh, yeah. No bugs how they gave him abs like that in Middle Ones. Yeah. I don't think that's you been there, Sauce? No. Sauce is tripping now. But I just really want Shilonen. I have like 25 wishes saved up. I don't have a lot, but I just really want Shilonen. We'd be pulling for this. I really want Varka. If I'm gonna be honest, like, I love Flynn's, and I know that he's voiced by Gojo's Japanese VA and whatever, but I really want Varka. He looks so cool. And buff. I like that. He's a mix between Risley and Adventurine from Honkai Star Rail, so gotta get him. The buff Adventurine, exactly. That's y'all clocked me. That's exactly why I want him. This is above adventuring. However, if Varka's relationship with Flynn's or whatever his name is if it's the exact same as Rishu and Adventurine, bro, I gotta pull Flynn's then, because I gotta have him in every universe, no cap. Chat, I was thinking about this today. What do you guys think is my favorite ship? I was thinking about this because I was like, if someone asked me what my top 5 favorite were, what would I say? So I have the list in my head, but to you guys, since you guys know me, okay, well, damn. Have they even interacted before? Has everyone talking about their relationship? Because they have lines about each other, but all that Flynn says about him is, "Who's that?" Yeah, it's Gojo and Ghetto. That's my favorite. Okay, name the other 4 that I like. Bet you can't. Oh, Sauce ain't gonna get one of them for sure. Sorry, Corey, that was my finger. Is the grass green all question? Sauce is not gonna get one of them right, but okay, Chad, name my other 4 favorite chips. You can do it. I like how we're stuck here. Did I save? Oh, I did. Okay, let's just get out of here. Lighter Bernice. Ooh, that's an honorable mention. It was gonna be up there, but it's not. Lighter Bernice is honorable mention. Oh, okay, I'll give you a hint. They're mostly from Heyo games. Fuck your mentions, give me the point. No. Okay, half a point. We do both Nervy Let and Risley Adventuring Ratio. That doesn't narrow it down at all. Yeah, Adventuring. Okay, so hold on, let me change this stuff on here real quick. The nerd. Oh, okay. So, my number 1 favorite ship of all time is Gojo and Ghetto. And then, in no order, Nervyland Risley, Adventuring and Ratio, Alhaitham and Kave. There's one more. I don't think y'all are gonna guess it though. Y'all ain't gonna get this one. No, this one is not in any Hoyoverse game, but I have been talking about it a lot. So that's why I said Sauce probably isn't gonna get it, because Sauce hasn't been here. That's not how you spell Alhaitham, but good try. Is it the Squid Game thing? No, but that's an honorable mention. It's not from Squid Game. Though 457 is a fire ship, no cap. Media? Webcomic? Is it from this omniscient view? Yes. It is? But who is it? Probably? What do you mean probably? And I love how you spelled it, Bray. That's exactly how you spell it. Name Stealing. Damn. I didn't think Sauce was gonna guess that. But yeah. I gave up halfway though. Yeah. Now, I wasn't. Okay, when I was thinking about what my top 5 ships were, I wasn't gonna put Risley and Nervy Let in top 5. I was going to replace it with Mighty and Finan from Honkai Star Rail, but I was like, but I really like Nervylad and Risley. So they're kind of like tied. I read that a while back and figured you'd end up shipping them. What? How? You've never talked about it before. I've never once heard you talk about Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. But yeah. Okay, bonus points. Okay, Sauce, since you guessed that correctly, who's my favorite character? Nah, bro won't guess this right, trust. I have secrets. I'm scared. Bro won't guess my favorite character. No one can guess my favorite character. Well, maybe Braid, because I talked about it yesterday. Maybe. Did I? I don't remember. If anyone guesses it right, I will gamble my... which one? There's 2. I stumped Sauce with this one. Bro doesn't know. My friend doesn't even know who my favorite character is. That's crazy. The second. Here's the second. They got me. They got me. I'm cooked. I'm cooked, bro. You know what's scary? Sauce is able to predict what characters I'll like, what ships I'll like, and like all this other stuff. It is scary how they can because they drew a little Gojo on one of my birthday notes that they gave me, and then like that same year I started to watch it, and Gojo was my favorite character. You're not that hard to What? I'm not that hard to read. What's that supposed to mean? I am a very intricate and in-depth person. There's a disturbance in the fog. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm like, if I read something, I can already guess who you'll end up. I feel. Well, first, I feel honored that you guys know me that well that you can guess that, but I am not that easy to guess. I am not that easy to guess. You ever read The Greatest Estate? What did you put in money on who to ship? Bruh. Listen. I am not that okay. Since you guys know me so well, what is one character that I hate? Name one. If you read Twilight, you probably would have shipped Edward and Jacob because of the Unset Angst. Absolutely. Okay. Name one character that I despise with my entire being. If you guys know me so well, then you know what character I hate the most. Wow, how do I do the points? I do points? Oh, I do slots. Well done. The most, the green girl from Genshin. Now, I do hate Yao Yao. But... which one? I keep losing my points. I haven't played in a minute, I forgot their names. The character that I hate most in all of anime, all of any media. Well, I have many, but if you can guess it, I'll give you a point, because technically I have 2. It's from an older anime. Like, think of, like, early 2000s and past. Like, before that. I hate them so much, bro. Yeah. They're in it. Yes. I hate Asuka. Asuna. I hate him. I hate her with all of my being. I hate that motherfucker. If I have the opportunity to like clock her, I would. Like, I hate her so much. So much, bro. I hate her. The other character I hate is the... oh, I forget his name because I hate him so much. is the main character's twin brother from Idolish 7. I hate that guy. 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 Who that is? He is the most disgusting human being I've ever met in my life. Gamble more so I can, but you're right, sorry. I can't do it back to back, but it's fine. Just do slots 3000? Okay. You know what? Let's just do all my points. Oh. Okay, you should be number 1 now, Brait. Because I used all my points. You're number 1 now, Brait. Congratulations! Okay, Jetsons. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, since you guys figured out who my most hated anime character is, who is my favorite anime character of all time? No, where is he? Oh! You can hear the fish, but you can't see. Why isn't the fish on the screen? Why is he? Where is he? Where is he? The fish haunts us. I'm scared. I don't know where he is. I don't know where the Gojo? I mean, yeah, Gojo. That was probably not a good question. What is well, you guys probably know my favorite video game character too. Yesterday it would have been a yes, but today is a yep. Oh dang. So Streamlabs still the fish, thanks. What are you doing with the fish, bro? I don't know. They trying to cook it up. Oh, okay. Since you guys know me so well, what is my favorite book? Even Sauce don't know this one. Well, probably. Well, maybe. I don't know. I've talked about it. It was even on my debut thing. It's my favorite book. I have an entire bookshelf full of books. Yes, I read books. I read stuff besides yaoi, guys. Surprisingly. And webcomics and mangas. Sure. What? That's a very ominous sure. My uncle, yeah, he doesn't know what's on the shelves. I have read like half the books on my thing. I mean, there's a couple I have up there that I haven't read yet, but I'm getting to them. But my favorite book, guys, come on. No. No, I do like the Hunger Games series. It's a good series. I haven't read the 2 new books, though. When I needed chat most, they failed me. When I needed chat most, they failed me. Okay, let's give you guys an easier question. I was able for Shark debut. Yay, we failed. Why are you praising your failure? It was Arena by Holly Jennings. Arena by Holly Jennings is my favorite, and then the second book, Gauntlet, is really good too. She needs to make a third one. Please. I don't know if she has yet. I need it. I need the second book too. I need to put it on my Christmas list. For some reason, I had it on my debut slide. I have told everyone about this book. I love this book. It's my favorite book ever. Every time, like, we're talking about, like, book recommendations, I say, you guys should totally read this book. It's, like, sci-fi. It's drama. It's, it has, like, video game mechanics in it and everything. I talk about this book all the time. It's okay. You guys can do... It's okay, you guys. It is. It's a really, really good book. I really recommend it. You should read Green Eggs and Ham. I have read that book, and I do not like Green Eggs and Ham. Type in the name, because I don't know how to write. It's just called Arena. Must be missing that book, because all I hear is the yaoi section of these discussions. Is that how you spell Arena? Yeah. It's Arena by Holly Jennings. It's a phantasmical, lovely book. I love it. But, you know, we do talk about yaoi and stuff, but I enjoy books that aren't like that. There is one book series that I really like, but it has a lot of bad stuff in it, and what I mean by, like, bad stuff is, like, bad stuff. It's good, but if it makes you uncomfortable, it does make you uncomfortable, that's the point, so you gotta be, like, tough to read it, because I originally read, it's called The Fever King. I originally read the web comic on Webtoon about it, so then I bought the physical copies of the books, and I bought the first one and the second one. A lot of very mature subjects in it, a lot of stuff to do with minors, so not a book to, you know, be reading lightly. A lot of bad stuff does happen in it, but it's really, really well written, and it genuinely made me cry multiple times. Like, it's a really good series. I have, what's the second one? The first book isn't as long as the second book, because the second book is like where everything happens in it. It's called the Electric something, I don't remember. That's another book that I would recommend if you're okay with, like, topics like that, but obviously if you were uncomfortable with that stuff, don't read it. But I will say that the guy does die, so yeah, let's go. Fuck that guy. They murder his ass. Who's the author of the reading? Because I'm getting Holly Jennings. Just Holly, like the berry, and then Jennings. But that's another book series I recommend. Hunger Games, obviously. Well, there's this one book, it's called Fangirl. I don't know if many people know about this book, but I read it in school. And now I have a physical copy of it of my own. And it's about this girl who's, like, going to college. She meets someone, she falls in love with him while she's going through, like, family problems and stuff like that. I never read that book, but that... and at the same time, she's writing a fan fiction about, like, two of her favorite characters from this fandom that she's in. It's a really cute love story with the fan fiction shipping yaoi aspect of it. That's really nice. It's a really good read. It's kind of long, but it's not that long. Most of the books that I have currently, I haven't read through all the way, so I have a couple that I need to read, but the ones that I have read, I can recommend those. But yeah, those are my book recommendations. Arena's really good. The Fever King series, you know, viewer discretion advised on that one. I didn't know that going into it, and I was like, what the fuck, bruh? But he dies I think he dies a very painful death at the end, which it was very satisfying. And then I'm trying to think of, like, other books that I have also read. that were really good that I don't own, but I have read in the past. I found a bookstore in my town that does a lot of English books, so I want to check it out. Oh, let's go. Yeah, Arena's a really good book. And then Gauntlet's like really good too. Like Gauntlet got me so hyped, bro. I don't really like books that change perspective like every chapter. Like one chapter it's this guy, and then the next chapter is this one, and then the next chapter is a completely different person. Like if they change like every so often in the chapters, that's fine. But other than that, no. The usual ones here end with translated versions, and I hate reading that. It's like being forced to watch dubs forever. I couldn't live that life. I posted a video for my 100 pairs of socks in Discord. Alright, let's go. If anyone wants to see 100 pairs of socks, go see them. I'll check it out later. Oh, there's one book that I have. Oh, which one is it? I can't remember if it's the one of It's Us or it's the second one that I bought. But it's about these two dudes who fall in love while they're in New York, and they like go on dates and they like date or whatever, and then like they're like, oh, one of them was like, I have to move back to college, and I was like, oh, they're gonna stay together, please. But they didn't stay together, they broke up. When they went back to college, and I was so mad, bro. I remember when I was reading it, I like got up out my chair and I walked out the house. I was so mad. So long spoiler, hey, let's go. Dude, I walked out the house. I was so mad at this book. I was like, no way, they broke up after they did all that, bro. But now I have the sequel. I haven't read the sequel yet. I need to get back on my book grind. In my manga grind, because I have the first 6 volumes of Solo Leveling. I've only read 2. I've only read 2 volumes of Solo Leveling, and I have 6. And then I have almost all of the Jujutsu Kaisen ones. I'm missing 26. I think 26 is the latest one that came out. And then, you know, I think there's only, what, 28 volumes? 28, 29? So I'm almost done with those, and then once I collect all of them, I'm going to read them all the way through, so I have, I have the entire story. And then Jujutsu Kaisen will be the first manga that I have the entire collection of, which is crazy. But I do own the first 6 volumes of Evangelion. I own the first 3 volumes of One Punch Man, the first 5 volumes of Beastars. I bought a BL one called My Summer with You, and I have not read it yet. It's just displayed on my shelf. So you have chapter 236. I'm gonna rip that out, actually, genuinely. I'm just gonna rip it out. Oh my gosh! I don't know what, I'm missing a page. That's so crazy. Why would my manga be missing a page? That's so weird. That's so weird, guys. You're okay, Corgo. Thanks, computer. Has been shipping, get a refund. No, I don't want a refund. I'm good. But I want to start collecting the physical copies of the of Reader's Viewpoint, because they have those in stores now, so I want to get like all the physical copies of it. I don't know if they sell a completely translated version of the novel. I'm not sure, but I would love to buy it. I want to get all of the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation books. I want to get all of the ones for Heaven's Official Blessing as well. I have the other series that the same author made, but I've never read it, and I've never read the manga for it. I don't know what it is. I just bought it because I was like, oh, it's made by the same author. It's gonna be goated. I have now read it. I don't even know what it's called. It's something. You know it's gonna be Peak if it's made by the same person. You know, they made Peak before, so they're gonna make Peak again. That's my logic, at least. But yeah, I read, guys. I don't just read mangas. You're like, yo, Shaw, welcome back, man. Welcome back. I've learned that may not be the case always. Well, reading out loud's different, like we've said before. But I'm also gonna start reading the manga to start wrapping things up. Oh, we still got a few minutes. We're just talking about books and stuff. But I do want to start reading The Summer That Hikaru Died, the manga, so like I can, you know, keep up with it and like what's currently happening in it while I'm also watching the anime. And what's really cool is that, you know, most of the time when they translate mangas into English, they just do it like normal English. But in this one, because that where the story takes place at, it's in like a little country royal town, so they speak with an accent. So when they translated it, in the manga they speak like with yurs and nars and like, you know, like really southern, or not southern, but like really like country talk and phrases. And I think that's really cool because most of the time when they translate stuff into English, it's just English. It doesn't really have like a flair or anything on it. So I think it's really, really cool that they were able to translate it like that and then keep the authenticity of like what they really do sound like, instead of just like, yeah, this is just a literal translation of what they're saying. Like they added the flair, like they're like talking about nars and theirs and all this other stuff, and I'm like, yes, representation. This shall not pass. What are you talking about? Would it be cool to get an Irish dubbing and translation for anime and manga in Ireland? Oh yeah, that would be really dope. Like if like each country got their own type of thing. Well, English specifically. Like different types of English got their own versions. Sorry, my corgi is barking. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll just take them dubbing with different accents on the same dub. Unofficial dub and sub team should do that in my country. Oh really? You're talking about Pageantry, I'll have to do that. She's gone for right now. I'll see her in a few minutes though. But yeah, I think it's cool when they like incorporate the correct accents that people would have in their in like the translations and stuff. Another one that does that really well, not to glaze hypnosis Mike, but I'm kind of am, but like I say about Gintaro a lot, he's like a historical writer, so he tries to live in the past and like all that other stuff. When he speaks, they translate it into, instead of like normal English, only him specifically does he speak in British, like Shakespearean English. So when he's talking on the screen, it's using twas and there and like all that other stuff. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? So that's another example of how they translate it like that, which I thought was really cool. Like, I knew this motherfucker talked different, but why do you gotta do Shakespeare? That's crazy. You're in person, the color very close to your model. Oh, really? Okay, slame. That'd be cool to have. I'm trying to think of like other characters that have that stuff. I don't think anyone else in Hypnosis Mike has that. But it's been a while since I watched the anime. Is this an excuse? Guys, I'm gonna rewatch the anime just to check for you guys, because, you know, I like to do in-depth research. So I'm gonna rewatch the anime for you. You guys don't have to worry about it. Also, Sauce got away with it while they were here. that they didn't have to watch the entirety of the first season of Hypnosis Mike. So, next time I see him, Sauce is gonna be watching Hypnosis Mike. That's a dumb thing for hosting. It was set in the 90s England. I was waiting for it. When we had so many things that we were... do I bring it? Do you have a DVD player? Do you have a DVD player? Because I could just bring it to you. Let's go! I'm bringing it. Yes, I have a DVD player. Does anyone own a well, we all know that Cat owns a DVD player now, but does anyone own a DVD player anymore? I feel like everyone just doesn't have one anymore. Because no one buys, like, you know, DVDs anymore. Because it's like, oh, it's on Netflix, or oh, it's on this, or whatever. DVDs are... I know they're not that old, but everyone's, like, no one has a DVD player. Nobody has all this other stuff. Bye-bye, guys. Suna. Thank you so much for coming. Stay safe, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, bye, bye. Takes forever to turn on and load. Well, yeah, it's kind of ancient. I have loads of DVDs. Hey, let's go. Haven't used it in ages, but it is there. Yeah. My dogs do be doing a little bit of barking even though they're not supposed to be. But I'm gonna force Sauce to watch the first season of Hypnosis Mike when I see them next time. Let's go. I feel accomplished. But tomorrow, chat, we are gonna be playing the Sims 4. Something had like $2 worth of DVDs. Dang, 2 boxes. I think my family still have. I have a whole thing of DVDs in my room actually, but we don't have a DVD player anymore, so I don't know what to do with the DVDs. Kinda said no one uses it anymore. Yeah, kind of like what's the point like buying DVDs, but amateurs, hey, leave us alone. But tomorrow we're gonna be playing The Sims 4. So if you guys have any suggestions on like storylines and like funny things you want to see happen, put them in the Gaming Generals channel. I'll look at them briefly before stream, and I'll try incorporating them as we start our new playthrough of The Sims 4. I'm very excited to see what chaotic things that we can make tomorrow. At least it's a physical copy and you'll always own it. That's true, yeah. But thank you guys for coming to stream today. We are gonna finish Under the Thorns probably next time. And if we can finish it, then we'll probably do other choices as well. Because it's really interesting. I really want to find out what's happening. Thank you for the stream, as always. No, thank you for coming as always. But I will see you guys tomorrow for Sims 4. But till then, chat, thank you for the stream, Suna. Thank you for coming. And remember, chat, stay poggin', stay safe, and I'll see you next time.